Don't waste the story.
Don't waste the
the
story.
Well, you know, if I tell you the story before we stream it, and then I tell it again, then it's.
Yeah, you're not going to get my.
I mean, I've already kind of told you the story.
Well, I mean, you're going to accuse me of being, Joe Chopper, but I can tell you my story.
I'm sure you have a gas leak story, do you?
I do. Oh. I do have a gas leak story.
Quite amazing. You have stories for everything.
Well, so tell your story, then I'll tell
quite
mine.
The what do you call it?
The raconteur.
Raconteur. That's the raconteur.
That's what.
Hair is crazy today, man. Look at it.
It is crazy.
That was long, man. It's just like it's getting curly. I mean, it was curly already, but
I've told.
Yeah.
No, I mean, when like the first time Richard Ham and I ever really talked was like in the middle of Gen Con. We just talked like in the middle of like a row in the exhibitor's aisles, and we ended up just talking for like an hour about just stuff, and then at one point he said, "You're quite the raconteur," and I was like, "Oh." And I was like, I'm going to look that up, and I'm going to find out whether I had to punch you in the mouth.
Yeah.
But then it was a raconteur is like a spinner of yarns or something. I was like, that's cool. So anyway, your story, my friend.
So I woke up yesterday, and there's a message from Jeff, and it says, and Jeff is in the BGG building, works in there. He goes, we smelled gas in the break room, or no, in the packing room near the water heater. So we evacuated. Like, okay, yeah, we should. We called Atmos. But Atmos is the energy company, right? It's like gas power, whatever. Hold on a second. I sent a message here. I'm multitasking. So of course I'm immediately like, oh, is what's gonna happen? Gas leak. I never had a gas leak before in my life. So they smelled gas. They went out of the room. They turned on the fans, opened up all the doors. I immediately called the guy who knows everybody to get someone out there to look at it, and the heaters. We called Atmos to come out and handle it, and they came out, and they're not allowed in the building unless they turn the gas off, which is kind of weird. I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Don't go in the building if the gas is on. So Jeff went back in and turned everything off, like heaters, water heater.
Yeah.
Whatever uses gas. And then they measured the gas line, right, to see if it was like ticking down, but it was not. So that's weird. So there's no leak, I guess. And they had a spray bottle with what do you call it? Soap, to see if any bubbles were coming out. It's like, okay. So we're on this not witch hunt. I mean, obviously they smelled gas, so I don't know.
Yeah.
My guy gets there and checks the water heater, and it's an electric water heater, which nobody knew. I didn't know it. So obviously that's not it. But then I found basically they inspected the water heater. They're like, it's 15 years old and it needs to be replaced. I'm like, oh, of course it does. Like, we checked it when we moved in there and never again. So it's like, yeah, okay, we get that fixed. And it's a commercial water heater,
Well, you see, now you've opened up a Pandora's box of stories for me with all your little things. So
it always is, right? Anytime you send someone over to check something, it's like they find stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, like when you take your car in to have it looked at for something, they always give you a list of these 27 other things that you should get fixed, and it's just like, yeah, I'm not going to spend $4,000 today, thanks. I don't care how worn my Lipsy juke box joint is. I'm just not going. I don't need you to tear apart the undercarriage of my car right now.
Yeah, it's the thing, right? I mean,
yeah.
If you're in business to fix stuff, you're gonna find stuff to fix.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's fine. I don't mind. I like fixing things. I don't like things breaking. I mean, if that water heater exploded, it's in the packing room where all the BGG stuff is. So it's like, I don't want to deal with that. Let's get it. Let's just replace it.
Yeah. No. Totally understandable.
Anyway, so no gas leak was found. My guys didn't find anything. they even checked the valves, right? And now we're going to replace all the valves because they're old. But anyway, just fun day of being a board game geek, dealing with gas leaks. See, now they turned everything back on and went back to work, and then they didn't smell anything for the rest of the day. So we're gonna get, we've got those carbon monoxide things on order, detectors, which we should have had in the first place. You never think of that stuff until you really have to.
Yeah. No, no.
It was a fun day.
So, all right. So, excuse me. My guess.
Way better.
My
story would only be good enough if the building actually blew up.
No.
Yeah, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? No,
no, it would not be awesome at all.
Be awesome.
No. So years and years and years ago, I worked at a pizza place that was called Slapshot Pizza. It was
Slapshot. That doesn't sound familiar. Have you talked about that place before?
Well, I mean, so it was started by a dude that had ran a Domino's like a franchise store for years, and then he decided he didn't want to he wanted to just go and do his own thing, so he just opened up his own pizza place because he knew how to make pizza at that point, right? So it was just so anyway, it was hockey themed and whatever, and it was fine. The place was just fine, and I was I was working there late one evening, and it was me and the owner's brother were doing something, and we were just shutting down the place and getting everything cleaned up and getting ready to close down the place. And when all of a sudden the back of the building, we heard this just ka-chunk, this noise, it was just huge, it was just it was almost one of those things where it's we felt like something had hit the building. And so I was like, what the hell? And then the guy Glenn, he said, is somebody trying to break in? Because most of the lights were off, so we thought that maybe somebody was trying to break into the building and try to rob us and everything like that. So I went to the back door. There was a back door that had a literally had a lock on it, but it also had a steel bar that you put down so it couldn't be opened, right? It was just and so I picked up the steel bar, and I like an idiot, I was gonna fight somebody, I pick it up and I open up the back door, and as soon as I open up the back door, it's just all I smell is natural gas, and I was just
natural gas doesn't have a smell, Lance.
Well, you
smelled the additive.
Yes, you smelled the additive.
Yes, but see, and
I know.
We were off air. We were off air, and he was telling me the story. Never mind. So I went and then to this day now, when I think back, I'm like, well, what the hell? What was going on that this guy was there? But the waste disposal guy was there, but I was just kind of and to this day I've always said, I mean, I saw there was the garbage truck back there, and and he was near our dumpster, but I was also it was midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. What was he doing picking up garbage at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning? So to this day I've always just wondered, what was that guy doing back there? Mm-hmm. And regardless, he had backed into the side of the building. And he had severed the gas pipe. I mean, it was literally severed, and it was just blasting natural gas out, just under pressure. Mm-hmm. And I was and I was holy shit. And the guy got out of it. He's like, hey, I think I might have hit your building. and I literally I said, get the hell out of here. I yelled, everybody. And so I ran out the front door, and I grabbed.
Could you imagine if that triggered off?
Well, that's just it.
That would be a big fireball.
You would have
I would have found myself in pieces on the other side of the street. By the way, as I ran out of the building, I grabbed one of, because he had cordless phones to take the orders, right? You know, so I grabbed one of the cordless phones off the counter, and I ran to the other side of the building and dialed 911. And I called it. I was like, yeah, we got a gas leak, and like, yeah,
By the way, that is the quickest way to get the gas company to come out.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, they were literally there in 5 minutes. I mean,
Yeah.
it was crazy how quickly they came.
Oh well, yeah, because you lose a city block if it's bad enough, right?
Yeah.
So no, and then like, and yeah, and like 7 fire, like, and none of them park close to the building. You like literally, because you don't want to have any kind of spark or anything like that. Yeah. So like it was like 7 different emergency vehicles were there within 5 minutes, and it was just, you know, and then they shut off the line and, you know, got everything fixed. But yeah, we were just sitting there. It's like, we often have said, what are the chances, because it's a metal pipe and it's the back of a metal truck, metal scraping against metal, and no spark, like, you know, like,
yeah,
happen to, you know, do anything to catch that. And I was just kind of like, huh. And I the only I mean, actually I remember one day I walked out of my front yard, and all I smelled was natural gas, and I heard sirens going off. And that was like literally like a cable company that was moving into the area was putting in their cable, and one of their ground screw had severed the main. And like literally, and all you heard was sirens, and everybody was going crazy. And it was just, and they it was one of those things where they flew in. I mean, it was like, but I mean, like, we were like a couple of miles away, and you could smell the natural gas in the air because it was so pervasive. They had hit the main. And then a buddy of mine actually lived near a house like about a block or so down the street from him, where like somebody's garage exploded from natural gas, like, because there was just like there was a break, and there was and his security camera that he had for the outside of his house caught it on you know, and he showed us the video. Just sit there, just, it was fine, you know, just like a winter evening, everything looks completely fine and normal. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden this garage just explodes. And the garage was not attached to the house, thank God, you know. And not that it's not that it's funny, because it's horrible, and, you know, nobody was hurt, thank God. But there was somebody at 2 o'clock in the morning just happened to be driving by the house, and had just like basically, you see the car, because the camera went down the street, you see the car just past the garage, and they're in their car, and then like a half a second later, after it passes the garage, the whole garage explodes. And I was like, oh man, if I could have just, you know, there's no chance that person had clean underwear after that. I mean, like, you're just 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah.
He maybe had a couple of beers just on the way home, just need to go to sleep, and all of a sudden, just this freaking mushroom of fire like in the corner of the
It's kind of amazing, like natural gas or gas to the house or whatever is a big infrastructure, and it's surprising how few accidents there really are. I mean, I don't know really how many there are, but it seems like, you know, you don't hear about them that often. There was one here in Dallas when someone was fucking around with stuff. But I think a few years back, there was like some bad stuff happening in the more west of us, side of town. But it doesn't happen that often. But it's weird because it's a explosive, flammable, you know.
Well, so is your car.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But it's going to every house on the block, and then, you know, I don't know.
When I was young,
we live on the end of a matchstick. Man.
When I was like 12 or 13, a house behind me exploded because of that. Behind me, like 4 doors up, I think 3 doors up, and that was nuts. They evacuated the whole block and all. You know, it's rows, but
was there anybody in it?
Yeah, somebody did die. Luckily, I think it was 4 people got out. The one that died was sleeping. It was in the middle. I was young, like I said. It was in the night, and it had to be in the winter because I was cold. It was cold out, and that was a little scary. But other than that, and I dealt with guys doing plumbing and shit. You never really hear about much. Oh, once in a while, main will explode, or break or something like that. But yeah, it is amazing how little does happen with natural gas. But when it does happen, it's pretty big.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was scary. That
I
shook the
wonder
whole house.
if the gas company can detect large draws to detect leaks. Like they might know, like, let's look at this area. It uses this much gas per day.
Maybe you'd think.
And then if a day goes by, like where there's like, oh, it's twice as much, you have to be alarm.
I don't. Yeah, there's got to be some like
There's gotta be something.
usually with that electronics because it revolves somewhere with sensors, but there's got to be something. Maybe
Yeah, they were
siphon
actually.
or-
So Atmos was a little. They said they're weirded out for how much gas we have been using, but it's been fucking cold here. I mean, we've had the heater on, and we've had, we had a lot of work going on this year. Like we had a huge release last month, the Quack Spits.
Yeah,
They were working like full 8-hour days when they normally only work like 4.
you slave driver. 8 hour
Oh,
days, man.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I want them to only work 8 hours a day.
Oh, I don't play. Anything over 6 is not
Yeah, I
productive
mean,
to
I'd rather
me.
them. I mean, it's all part time for everybody, so it's like I would rather them have to be
Yeah,
by them early afternoons.
yeah. It's funny. I was just talking to Bob across the street. He's a sheriff in Maryland.
Oh
was just-
yeah, that sheriff in Maryland that we all know.
He was just telling me today that he had a truck, a CO2 truck explode. Like he had to go on a call for. He heard it at the department, and he ran looking for it. And he said that was nice. They were trying to put the fire out with a fire extinguisher. The truck driver was. I was like, wow, he was in it. He's lucky to be alive.
It's crazy.
He said it was just a big fireball all around it.
Hey, look, it's Matthew. It's Forrest, everyone. Forrest looks like he's got a headband on. I'm sure it's just a hat or a beanie though.
I got a free hat today in the mail, so I'm wearing the free hat. Give me a free hat, I'll wear it.
Yay.
If free hat, I wear it. Free hat, free hat.
Hell yeah.
Oh my gosh. So what's this deal with everybody bailing on Kickstarter? Have you been seeing this?
Is it Bitcoin?
Oh, it's Bitcoin.
Well,
It's a
no,
blockchain.
okay,
Blockchain.
It's they're doing the
did they say
block.
what they-
They're doing the
Oh, that's
blockchain
right,
stuff,
yeah.
and Gamefound has proven that since people, okay, if we're gonna dive into this is
Well,
my opening.
I just saw a bunch of stuff on Facebook.
And go.
This is my opening salvo as to why people are moving to Gamefound. One, actual responses from actual people when you have issues and
Who
you
needs
need
that?
somebody.
Just
You need somebody to
nitpicking
look
now.
into it. Like, hey, this doesn't work. Oh, it's like, wow, like I'll just reach out to Ryan Schoon. I have his phone number. I'm like, hey Ryan, I can't get this to work. And he'll help me out and he'll get that working for me.
This is Gamefound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two,
How do I know
Uh,
that name?
because he's part of
Meeple-
Man versus Meeple.
Man versus Meeple. That's it.
Not Ryan. Okay. He works for
Um,
Gamefound now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
He's
their
part of
US.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of smart to get people actually in the game industry into the
Yeah.
business.
The second thing is that obviously it's been proven that Gamefound is working for because Gamefound is being it's board games and RPGs and nothing else. And which, to be fair, like I can go to Kickstarter and I can easily just shrink down what I want to look at to tabletop games. That's all I can see, and I can see what's up there. But but Gamefound has proven that hey, I can go to Gamefound and I can just as easily have 3, 4, 5,000 backers of my game, and I can get that.
It
Three,
seems it can be as big as.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
alternatives.
and the third thing is that I don't have to mess around with moving all my stuff over to a pledge manager and working with the pledge manager and doing anything else
Yeah.
because
Like, you know,
Gamefound is my pledge manager. Everything just ports right
yeah, it
over.
doesn't make sense. It doesn't. It's such a weird thing. I mean, I'm not like, I don't know. We've only done one real big crowdfunding thing on Kickstarter, and it was like we didn't use a pledge manager, and it was a nightmare. Like, why is that not just built into the system? Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think, the big people like will see Mon move over,
I don't
No,
think so.
because I'm pretty sure because of, I mean, I don't know this, and even if Peter was still here, he probably couldn't discuss it with us, or no, for that matter. But I'm certain that Kickstarter, like because of the level of their campaigns that they do, I'm sure Kickstarter does whatever it is that they have to do to remain appealing to Cool Mini or not, and for them to keep using that. Now, whether that's taking a smaller percentage or making sure that they're doing their own internal advertising and pushing those things more, there could be all kinds of things that they, if you're a whale that's bringing in 5% of
9 million.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, what did the latest one end up at? Like 9 something million.
yeah, I mean, so if you're there, and you're making them like literally, over the course of whatever, Kickstarter's made how much money off of them. I mean, I'm sure they're recirculating some of that money back to, this is all supposition on my part. I don't know, but I would not be surprised by any stretch of the means that if they were circling it back to them, and like I said, through the way of advertising, through making sure that when Kickstarter sends out any kind of an email, that like that's the very first big giant thing that they're talking about, all kinds of things like that, and perhaps even taking less of a percentage, like even like a third of a percentage point less is a lot of money when you're dealing with millions of dollars. So that's just my guess.
That's his guess.
And I have, like I said, no idea as to whether or not that is actually.
Well, I mean, I didn't know I know they announced that they were going to work on blockchain, but I don't think they had actually put anything concrete up.
Well, that's the whole thing wasn't it that they were just going to like, and also like it was the Kickstarter, it was going to be, I forget what the press release was, but it wasn't.
It was a vague press release. It wasn't. Really,
it was extremely vague. It was like they were going to make a big overarching company, and Kickstarter was just going to be part of it, and they're going to be doing this, that, and the other thing. And I don't know. It was. It sounded like a bunch of hooey to me.
Hooey.
Hooey.
And
whippersnappers.
Like, yeah. Hey, like I said, go look at the Kickstarter Wikipedia page and see if there's like basically there's one of the people that was one of the people that made it, the founders, is fairly as far as like you're able to like find out a fair amount about him, just like like as far as like, and then there's a third that just you don't know anything about him, like you just can't find anything about them, anything that has anything to do. It's like they are just basically they are in the weeds, as far as who they are and what they did and what they do, and so
What's wrong with that?
well, no, I mean that's fine. I mean, it's just like it's like you can't even like if you go to the Kickstarter page, there's like founders are Perry Chen, Yancey Strickler, and Charles Adler, and only two of those three people have a Wikipedia page themselves. Like, so it's, yeah, they definitely are. I'm not saying secretive, but they definitely are not.
Not everybody has to be in the limelight, Lance.
Oh Jesus!
Some
You know
people
exactly.
Well, I just
what
saw a
I'm
lot of
talking
hubbub about everybody's like, we want to quit using Kickstarter and we're going to go to Gamefound or vice versa. Or is there like any other alternatives? I don't know. This
Well,
just
I mean,
it was
the
just
user-
chatter on my Facebook.
Once you get over like the initial hump with Gamefound, the user interface is so much better than Kickstarter's as well. I mean, like if you type up something, like you just go into like Microsoft Word and you like type up an
Format it.
update that you want to do, like I want to, hey, thanks backers, blah blah blah. Check out this image, blah blah blah. Check out this image, blah blah blah. Check out this image. You can copy and paste that directly onto a Gamefound update page and hit print, and it's the exact same thing. If you
Interesting.
try to do that in Kickstarter, it just doesn't work. It'll like some of the text, but not all of it will come over. It won't be formatted. You'll have to re-upload the pictures. It's just, it is. And Kickstarter showed no
Interesting.
interest whatsoever in like making it better
Wonder why.
because they don't have to, because people are still using their stuff
okay.
and they're making money, and why spend money on improving things?
Yeah,
So what?
well, you know how
Kickstarter
it
at
is
one
when you
point
I mean,
say something.
we every day for the past, I want to say 10 years, we've been trying to make our site better.
Yeah, but you know what it's like when people change something on a site. You
Sure.
know how people react.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to every day since I've started working for BG full time is about making the website better.
And maybe
I don't think
one day,
there's a day or a week that goes by where we don't talk about upgrading or something or trying to fix something.
maybe one day it'll be a good Scott.
I gotta assume Kickstarter is the same way.
What?
What's that?
I'm messing.
I do
One
not
day- one day it'll
assume
be good.
Kickstarter's the same
I said
way.
maybe one day it'll be a good
Yeah,
site.
I got like the biggest. I mean, I felt. I don't know. There's some things that people say as public. What do you call them? Influencers in the board game world about BGG that I just am so mad about, but whatever.
I spend
I
7
don't-
8 hours a week on Kickstarter, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they give a fuck. Like,
Why? I bet they do.
why do I think they don't give a fuck? Because they have the
Yeah.
money. Like,
What do you think they do all day?
And I don't think Gamefound's going to take over anytime. I look at Gamefound's numbers and I say, oh, those aren't necessarily going up. Like the non A-list Gamefound projects are like, yeah,
But isn't that the case? Would they be higher
I don't know.
Kickstarter or not?
There's some that I assume would be, but it's
Like, what's the average now? Like, like I think I saw like something at about 30, 40,000 today that looked like it should be about 30, 40,000
So
on Kickstarter.
board games.
I mean,
at
not
one
everything on
point
Kickstarter gets 100,000,
yeah.
Board games at one point represented what, 30% of Kickstarter?
It was a big part, yeah.
I don't know.
I
I thought it was
If
more than
ev-
that.
If everybody were to leave, except for Simon, what do you think that would go down to if it was at 30?
Probably 29%.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's what I'm
I'm
wondering.
just
like,
messing
I know Simon's back. I don't think it's huge like that. Though. I mean,
no, because you get other stuff like Gloomhaven or
Yeah.
Frosthaven.
But I think there was a
Exploding
website out there that
Kitten.
analyzed the projects on Kickstarter.
Queen still goes through them, right? And there's a bunch of, Gray Fox. Yeah, I don't think. Well, no, Gray Fox is off of Kickstarter, right?
Gray Fox.
What was that website? That did
Ah.
But a bunch of slubs.
Ah.
it was
Well,
Kick
at
the
least
Ta-
one
It
of
was
them.
Kick the Table, I think. Oh no, that guy is. Not Kick the Table. Most funded-
No pun included. Said For Science from Gray Fox is the game of the year.
They can be
Nice.
bought. We know that.
Yeah.
So you know what the biggest project in board gaming was, or is?
Well, is
Where
it
at Kickstarter?
Frosthaven?
Frosthaven.
Frosthaven.
They don't show the totals anymore.
Yeah.
12 million. It does 12.969 million. So a hair off 13 million. Number 2 is Kingdom Death Monster 1.5. At
That's a lot, though. I mean, that's
12.393 million. So I mean, I guess like it would be interesting to know like what the total overall is, and then you can see how much 12 million takes up.
Yeah.
Avatar, the role playing game, was 9.5 million.
That was nuts. Those I
Why
want
is
those.
why is that a big deal? Like I never thought Avatar was anything. Oh, Marvel Zombies is the number 4 biggest. Then Wormwood, Exploding Kittens,
Wormwood. What's that?
Witcher.
They had
Oh,
a
one-
gaming. They had a
like the
gaming
Yeah.
table.
modular
that
gaming
was-
table.
Oh, that stuff. Yeah.
Have those shipped yet?
I don't think so.
That was 8.3, 8.8 million. That's some big money.
That was a really good project. They did a
Not
great
in
Binding of
job.
Isaac is number
Not in furniture is not
9.
really,
Seventh Continent is number 8. Witcher,
9.
Nemesis, Tainted Grail, Marvel United, X-Men. I mean, look, 2 Simons in the top 10, top 12.
Yeah.
It's big. I thought there was somebody out there who did an analysis of it, but I can't find it. Does anybody know?
No, I don't pay attention to Kickstarter nonsense.
Kick Track? Was it Kick Track?
Yeah.
I can't remember. But they don't do like an overall
Oh,
analysis,
yeah.
like of all of the projects or something.
Yeah. So did anybody celebrate World Pizza Night, World Pizza Day today?
Is that today?
Yeah.
By the way, there's even more Simons on here.
Oh yeah.
A little bit further down is Rising Sun.
Yeah.
And then
What was that at?
Rising Sun.
12?
No, it's going to be under. It's 4.2.
Or
It drops up. It drops off after the 9s. Black Plague was 4.07.
What was Kingdom Death Monster again? It was like 1 point. No,
It was just under 12, I think.
Jesus Christ.
12 point. I should just open these up. 12.
Does anybody have that?
I do.
Do you?
Scott has
I went
everything.
back. I went back and read the Kingdom
The
Death Monster
rules?
is a fantastic game, by the way. I've talked about it many times on the show.
Yeah.
For what it does, it's really cool.
Um,
I read the uncle treating his family thing. We are family posts, Lance. You were talking about
Yes.
backlash on that for sure. Some major backlash.
Oh yeah, they did not.
They weren't family. They're not family. Or if they're family, they're quite dysfunctional.
They're a dysfunctional family. Know the feeling well.
They were not happy.
I'm driving to.
Anyway, I was just wondering. I can't find it. There was a website that did this analysis of like all the sectors. I can't
Well,
find it.
I kind of expected it with the Gamefound people be shifting. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't looked at Facebook today, so I don't know what like the exodus of Facebook is. Or
No, this has nothing to do with them. I mean, it's
People are so fickle lately.
I checked out the 213th most popular tabletop game yesterday. So I think they're doing fine. Like if there's 200 plus projects just in tabletop games right now. Like I think it's a bunch of about nothing.
too, right?
I think it's just a vocal minority who's like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
NFTs, blockchain's bad. Fuck Kickstarter.
Yeah,
Ah.
but is Kickstarter going blockchain solely or as just an option?
Like they tell you.
One of the biggest issues people have with Kickstarter and the blockchain is they don't have their plan posted anywhere.
Okay, so games is
Yeah.
number 1 with
Which is?
games.
Yeah.
Now I don't know about underneath that. It's 66,000.
Technology is probably underneath that.
Yeah,
And tabletop games
It would be
dominates
nice
games.
to drill down, but they don't have
I
it.
bet you like technology and then like personal gadgetry kind of stuff.
So do you know? Does anybody know how much money total dollars pledged to Kickstarter projects in total is?
probably billions.
$1 trillion.
$1.4 billion.
Not quite a trillion. 6.37 billion.
Ooh, it was only 990.
Yeah, we're only slightly
billion
off
off.
there far.
Yeah, you're up by a factor.
Hello.
That forest
Germany.
math.
And
Just one factor of that. Hey, Jerry.
games itself is 1.82 billion.
I just it's I mean, people will still use Kickstarter, obviously. I mean, 'cause-
Yeah.
and people but
Oh yeah, no, I mean it.
but here's my opinion is that
Here's the thing.
here's the thing. Gamefound is also being
I'll say this.
like, as far
Lenses.
as being able to have your project on Gamefound, they do go through a vetting process.
Yeah, it's not
because
a free-for-all.
because the CEO, he's like, we don't want to have things
Riffraff.
that don't do well.
Yep.
And so if he thinks that like, oh, okay, well, yeah, you might get funded, but this isn't going to shine, that kind of thing. Well, go to Kickstarter. So, Kickstarter is always going, and that isn't to say that if you go to Kickstarter and use them, like you have a substandard product. I mean, with Kickstarter, it helps just being on there. Marketing wise, it's like tons of people go there every day, go to Kickstarter, go to tabletop games, and then just say, sort by newest.
Well, they go shopping.
And they're gonna see your game on there. I haven't done that in a long time, but I remember I used to do that. On Gamefound, it is one of those things where it's like you can do that, but I think it has a lot more to do with like companies being able to drum it up themselves and saying, hey, go check out our game. Look at all this cool art we have. Look at all this cool stuff we have. Look at all those neat things that we have going on. Go check that out. And that's, there's a difference there.
It's got to be hard though. I mean, like, because Kickstarter or crowdfunding in general is such a friggin' crapshoot. You think, like, I've worked on several projects that I thought, oh my God, this is going to get so crazily busy and do so well. And it's just fell flat. I have no idea why.
Your tasting in game stuff.
Well, there's that. No, but I mean, and then you get so Lance is saying that the CEO is kind of being discerning about which projects. I mean, I think that there's a certain amount of, there's a baseline where you could say, yeah, this is going to be decent or not. But then, who's to say how successful is that guesstimation going to be though?
Yeah, you never know with games in general.
I guess in general, your bar is a little higher.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
We're talking about Gamefound versus Kickstarter, why people are leaving Kickstarter and stuff.
Oh, yeah. We got a couple years for that one.
Much ado about nothing.
Before you dive into that, Jeremy, have you watched all of Archive 81?
Yes, I did, dude.
And what did you think?
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Matt hasn't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
We won't dive into it. But I mean,
thank you so much for that. That is like,
I watched 2 episodes. I liked it so far.
That's what I want to watch TV shows. Like, that's me. That's my wheelhouse. That's everything I want.
You know what I want? I want you to not be talking from the end of a tunnel.
Yeah, what happened?
The tin can games, your mic's
It's not using your mic, Jeremy.
It's echoey or
It's
Oh shit! Hold on.
You're using the mic in the other room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like,
Oh,
we're gonna get up to 45,000 feet. Dude.
Where she exits. So I haven't used Gamefound to pledge for anything. Is it easier difference as the consumer end between Gamefound and Kickstarter?
Yeah.
How much difference? Like, which is easier?
The same to me.
I mean, it's the same. It's the same deal. I mean,
Gamefound is more like an online store.
I think they make the shopping experience better on Gamefound.
Yeah, because you go into a project and you have to you'll see like 15 things you have to add to cart, and then check out.
You straight up can take any product line and just go like, what do you really want out of? I mean, like, if a publisher wanted to do it, you could be like, do you want promo cards 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7? Like, you could, if they wanted to.
Yeah, it's all like a shopping cart type system.
Right. So,
but on the user end, the user experience, it's easier than Kickstarter.
shit is clean, man.
Well, I don't know if it's easier because Kickstarter, you push the pledge, which is hard because you have to scroll the right hand column in a little window this wide, and then after that which they've added on recently, is more of an add to another add-ons.
Mhm.
they add after the fact. I mean, I guess they're really
It's just what you're used to.
maybe they're the same.
Yeah.
What do you want? What do you really want?
I like the fact that Gamefound has the option to
Exactly
give you a
there.
recommended pledge that will sticky itself on the top and be one of the first things that people see.
Yeah. What the fuck do you really want?
I mean, I feel like the software is not. They're kind of identical. And now from the back end, Lance is saying that it's way easier to do GameFound stuff because of the
Would believe that.
system has been
Yes.
updated more recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think most people care about the back end. No, I mean, unless
Yeah,
you're running a
it's
project.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember. It was a different world back when we ran our Kickstarter, so I don't remember
Yeah, that was a decade.
The whole
ago.
problem. I mean, the biggest problems we had were exporting. Like, so we had different pledge levels, right? And we had to figure out based on your pledge level what you get. Like that was old days, right? They didn't have any of this like add-on stuff, which they have now. And I assume that that exports out of the back end. And not just like, oh, this person gave you $250 and no, line items to what they bought, bought. But that's the way it used to be. You would say, you'd have your pledge levels and people would pay $50 and it would tell you they paid $50 and that's it. And you had to figure out what to give them. Like we actually had some people write to us and say they didn't get something and then you add their money all up and it was like, well, you didn't pay enough to get that. So we didn't send it.
I'm hoping it changed.
Right. Like we had like
I'm
a $5 add-on for like plastic brains. So if someone gave us $20, that's only for the game. Or I think our game was only like 10 or 9 or something like that. And then if it was added up to 14, then they got the brains. Right. So if someone just give us 9, we know they didn't add the brains on. Anyway, whatever. That was old ancient history though. But now it's all in a pledge manager, right? Because even though you pledged on Kickstarter a certain amount and picked a certain thing, you got to re-enter it on a pledge manager now, which is just the dumbest thing I've ever, like, I hate it every single time I see a pledge manager.
You spend your money that you pledge, basically.
Right, but it's dumb. I already did this.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm just saying, as a
I like
person,
the kinda
as a
openness
person
of
who
that all.
runs, as a person who runs campaigns, a pledge manager is so much. It helps the creator in ways
Sure.
that I can't even,
Because it makes a store for you.
Well, it isn't even the
versus
extra
a
money.
pledge
It's a lot of it has to do with just being able to sort everything and being
Yeah.
able to
Yeah.
Right. An online store. could do the
Kickstarter
same exact
doesn't-
thing.
and that's the
Shopify
other
could do
thing.
the exact same thing.
Kickstarter doesn't want to do any of that stuff for you.
I know.
Gamefound is willing to do it.
It's
for you.
astounding they have done as well as they do without those features that a pledge manager has. It's astounding. It's low featured, right? Like you can't
Yeah.
modify stuff and add things, and I don't know. But I
Well-
don't know. I'm talking my ass. I don't know.
I
what
mean,
they-
who knows?
Yeah, there's only that.
Who knows what the
before, right?
founders thought they were going to do with it when they did it? But I'm sure they, it was one of those things where I was like, oh, you want to get your record made? Well, here now you finally can. You want to get your art book made? Now you finally can because
yeah, and I like that.
you
That's
can
what I
find
want.
17 people to give you
But
$40, and then you're able
the
to make your
website that
$250 to
that somehow
get it printed.
turned the board game money faucet on, which people were doing pre-orders before this, and they were not as successful as what Kickstarter.
Yeah.
did. Like
That's because
Even
it
they-
blows my mind.
nobody.
Like Stronghold Games.
Nothing
Stronghold
was-
Games had pre-orders for every game they ever made up until Kickstarter, before Kickstarter came out. And they barely, I mean, I'm assuming they barely made any.
Well,
major.
but everything funnels into that one spot though. So you're not just getting your fans of board games, you're getting every fan of
Yeah.
every board game gets funneled and they see your stuff on there.
Yeah.
I mean, you had people with
I
stacks
know
of
people
fat
that-
cash waiting to spend it, and
But it's so
and
it
everything was
just
right
I mean,
there.
I know we've talked about this before. Stuns me that people would put money into a game they have no idea what it's going to be like. Hand over fist.
Yeah,
Hand
they do.
over
Yeah.
fist. Like it's
People want
amazing.
the sizzle, man. People want the sizzle. The steak just sits on.
And
your
by the
shelf.
way, if you make a 30-day limit on it, even more money comes in. Like, because Indiegogo had that like flexible funding thing,
Yeah.
right? Whereas like the project could go on for 6 months, right?
But you know,
And
but think
they
about
never
like,
achieved any success.
think about it like fan. Like people become a fan of a publisher or a designer, they want their stuff. You know, like Lacerda, it's like
Oh
it's
yeah,
not really what fucking game it is, honestly. It's Lacerda and
that's evolved
Emo
out of the
Cool.
system.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I'm saying.
I don't know if it has, Scott. I mean,
or brand loyalty, like a brand loyalty. I know people don't see board games like that too much, but like there is brand loyalty that's real rabid. Like kind of like Come On is like pretty big on that, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
They have fan loyalty and brand loyalty within that inside of there. So it's not like anybody's looking forward to Hate 2, right? But they are looking forward to the next Zombicide. So there is that. It's just that like then there's that one where it's like, I mean, there's a whole bunch in betweens, but I always say there's like that one comment, you know, that hits, and it's just something that really looks like the best fucking thing you saw when you were a little kid, or when you opened up a Sears magazine, you go, Daddy, that's all I want for Christmas right there. And it's $1,800, but I get everything, you know, and somehow, some way,
I'm all
that
in.
hits
All in.
too. All in, you know.
No, it's crazy. Just
it's crazy. But I mean, when
did Kickstarter come out?
shows you
2000.
that shows you in a niche hobby that you can actually make that much money per unit. You know, that's crazy.
Just got to get the niche together.
But you got to get the niche together to make the niche, right? To get that money. So,
yeah, okay.
How many Knizia games have you got without knowing anything about them?
Me?
Yes,
I'm not the typical person.
That's true.
I don't use myself
true.
as a guide or anything.
That's true.
yeah,
No, but
also
I'm
say
saying-
like, am I a barometer of
I
anything?
think most people
I
are
mean-
like that when you get used when you like one designer brand,
So,
whatever.
I'm going to do a hypothetical thing. We have Game X in stock right now to buy it right now. You can get it today. Can't sell very many.
Yeah.
Doesn't sell.
Your
If I put it on,
story-
I bet if I put it on Kickstarter,
Yeah.
I can sell 1,000 copies. Easy.
That's exactly. I mean, that's
Like,
why
I don't I don't understand that consumer thinking. Like I don't like
I'm with
buying
you,
stuff.
Scott. Yeah.
Like I hate pledging for Kickstarters. For one, you have to because most companies don't plan well enough to have extra copies when the game comes out.
No.
Like I want to see what the game's like a lot of times, right? Like especially the higher priced single first timers, right? Like
just want to
it's
see.
just weird.
Just
And
want
the,
to
and,
see.
and the
right?
amount of posts I see on Facebook where it says, I've got $100. Which Kickstarter should I back? Like none of them. Buy a game that's in
Buy a
print.
game.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
what
your
the
game's
hell?
in print right now.
What?
Like,
You feel like gambling today?
yeah,
I guess
know.
that's the gambling nature.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'll get a game. Maybe it'll be good.
I don't think
Yeah.
it's
Well, they
that.
want
I
the
bet one in
exclusivity,
100
though.
is what's that?
I
They're
think it goes
buying
back to the
exclusivity.
original thing you talked about of like making people's dreams come true, because that's what Kickstarter used to be. Like when I first signed up, like
Sure.
when I launched my project, it was like this game will never exist unless Kickstarter's here, and now it's just
Those days are long.
Just
gone.
want to
Yeah,
shoot
that's
that one
long
down.
gone. Yeah.
Just want to shoot that one down. Are you speaking specifically about board games, or are you speaking about Kickstarter?
Kickstarter.
Because
Kickstarter in general
Kickstarter
used-
wasn't making dreams come true the whole time. It was literally that was part of it, but then it became spots for stores.
Yeah.
You can buy. You can go to the legging store that's on Kickstarter. My wife goes and supports. You can buy anything you want as a store in Kickstarter. It's all about making sure you have enough inventory so you don't overdo it. That's it. Like to me, it's just that's what it is. It's the business of not making sure you don't order too much inventory, and you know exactly how much you can afford to order, to have printed or have made. Like
Just in time delivery stuff.
right, and that's just the nature of it. Like there are dreams that need to come true. As a matter of fact, I think most of them come true every month. It's just that they don't make millions of dollars.
Yeah.
You know, they don't make 100,000. They make less than they probably could have because more money went to more well-known products. Like that part I can admit all day. But I think good games make it across the finish line. And it's unfortunate that some of those finish lines aren't set properly.
Yeah.
And it's just unfortunate that you could have a dream that you made and you know what the numbers are and you just barely crossed it. So now you're back into debt on something that you really, really put a lot of hard work and man hours into, because there is no proper pay for design. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think of the dude who designed Everdell. He said, I worked on that design for like 6 years. Yeah. Like he's like, I quit on the design. I came back. Da, 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 da. I mean, yeah, Everdell now he's probably sitting on a little bit of a board game designer mint, whatever that means, whatever how much money that is. But it still doesn't count the man hours that you put into it, especially for like a one person by themselves doing this on their own. Like they can't afford for anything to go wrong.
Get the
like
large fries with his meal extra value.
Right. It's like, yeah. No. Hey, so you want those large? This time, yeah.
You want them embiggened?
Yeah. So yeah, I just Lance. So yeah, I just hope everybody sees that for what it is. I think we said that last week. Like people are more aware, but they're not. Like they're kind of not, or what they're misusing the information they believe they know. So
here's a question.
I just keep it like this is a business, and I think people forget that this is the business part. Like straight up, this is the business part. Fuck your board game. Fuck the final product. There's a lot of things that happen before you get your final product, buddy. Like so.
With all of the crazy shit that's going on lately, like
name one thing that's crazy.
I know. Just I was about to not let you out. Yeah.
Well, the truck drivers in my fucking city, but
Canadian truck drivers represent.
Truck drivers.
It's amazing.
At
what
least we're not
200 people
honking
can do.
anymore, which is good. But anyways, so like, forget all the crazy shipping and everything. Like making board games in 2015 versus today. Are we looking at board games was in a renaissance, right? It was in this really kind of golden age.
It was hit after hit after hit.
Right. So now with all this shit going on, products are like raw materials being so expensive, shipping being so expensive. People are we going to see board games being like public? Like you can't swing a cat without hitting 5 publishers. So how's that going to look going forward? Are people still going to be as eager to make their games?
I wouldn't if it was me.
No, me neither.
The amount of work you have to put in for
the amount of work. Yeah, exactly. For that,
unless you got that golden ticket hit,
or you're going to see a lot less self-published, and you're going to have to see people go back on a grind they're not used to. You're going to even see some more, more well-known designers be like, man, fuck this. I'm gonna let the publisher do this and deal with it. Like that's a thing too. Like a lot of designs are just going to go to the publishers, like the big name publishers who can swallow the good, bad, and ugly, and then give you something. Right.
Or who have the business channels already established.
Right. So it's like, fuck that. I'm not taking that risk. Yeah. And the publisher will be like, oh yeah, we know you're not taking that risk. We're just going to take off 2% more of that. So we'll take you down to 6%. We'll take you down.
I can't imagine how soul crushing it would be to be a first time self-publisher saying, yeah, no problem. You want your table hog of €1 to get published? Sure, no problem. It's going to be, you're going to need 2 containers. That's going to be $55,000 to ship those. Or
just think if you put all your chips in a box as a small publisher. Think about Triton Noir. All the chips, all of them, every single dollar they probably had, they put into that Assassin's Creed campaign. They got the 3 mil. You're thinking 3 mil. Okay, they're probably thinking like, all right, now we bought our copies. We have a good bottom line. Like we're good. Production takes a little longer. Fine. Pandemic hits in the middle of all this long production. Mm-hmm. They get one bill. They've been living and spending and developing projects, whatever. And then they get their bill back. It's 4 times what it was. 4 times. Like it's just imagine
they got that worst timing on it for sure.
They got the worst timing ever. Like watching your profit gone. Like, not only your profit gone, how the fuck are we going to ship this out? That's crazy, man. Like, that is absolutely crazy. And that was, like I said, that probably was all their chips. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Are you talking about the Brotherhood of Venice game or the dice or the other one?
no,
There's
the
two
actual
Assassin's Creed
the Assassin's Creed Venice.
Okay, because I know there was
That came
another
out
one
good?
out that
That's
fuck that.
Olog. That's Olog. It's just a dice game.
Yeah, fuck that game.
How is the brother or the Assassin's Creed game?
I don't know. I sold it.
I'm gonna guess just shot in
I've
the
got it
dark.
sitting here. I have not opened the box yet.
Yeah, just loan it to me when you're done. I don't know.
I put it into the BG library.
Yeah, just send it to me. I don't know what I'll do with it, but that's exactly why I got rid of mine.
Yeah.
I'm working my way through.
I got that game that I've totally forgot about in the mail yesterday. Now I can't remember the name of it.
Nice.
Surprise, surprise.
It's a big Euro.
Big Euro.
Pretty big, but nobody knows who anybody about it. Like, what is the name of that game?
I don't know, Scott. What was it?
Please don't tell me it's Gutenberg. My God.
Not Gutenberg. I think
Okay.
Forrest did it. He was going ape shit over it when he got like a preview of it.
Uprising?
Not Uprising. Damn, what is it?
Was it Uprising?
No, it's not Uprising.
Could have been Uprising.
All right, I'm gonna get a water and I'll be right back. And I'll tell you what it is.
Magnet.
He's got to
Magnet?
He left. He's got to find it. Oh, man.
Oh, he leaves. We're all quiet. We're all just on pins and
Oh,
needles, waiting for him to come back.
You know, I'm
Wow.
playing this game. I'm gonna play this game coming to crowdfunding next week. Speaking of big Kickstarters, this one is Kingdoms Forlorn. It's a pretty big ass campaign joint that's like similar to like Kingdom Death Monsters. Full table hog, full, just dungeon and boss battler, crazy stuff. This game is doing some pretty interesting, different stuff. I'm as I read the rules and I keep going back to stuff, I'm like, wow, this is a really interesting system. I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but like this game has like a mechanism where when you're dishing out attacks, you become more like empowered, as if you're like building up power, and you become more like badass and excited about what you're being badass, and the enemies are more attracted to you because you're like just kicking ass, right? And then you have, when you're getting damaged, because you're getting damaged to a certain point, you become more like wild and berserk. So it's got this like kind of layer of balance of, it's almost like Cthulhu Death May Die, where you get a little mad, you go like kind of crazy. The more crazy you get, the more powerful you get. Well, this one is the closer you get to death, the more stronger or more wild and unfocused you get, but you kind of get some badass stuff going on. I think that's really what makes this game different, but it's got like a weird approach to delving through a dungeon.
Okay.
This is called Kingdoms Forlorn. It's coming to Kickstarter next week. It's going to be big because it's the same guys who did Aeon's Trespass. They have a big game too. So this is their next big game, and it uses some of what they had before.
Oh, it's Nick, right? Nick Little.
No,
Not Nick.
No. This is the guys who did Aeon's Trespass, not Aeon's End. I'm talking about big ass
Aeon's
dungeon.
Trespass?
I mean, this guy, this guy here, the Egg Knight, is one of the first bosses here. Yes, he has yoke. You crack him in the head and shit like that. Yes, literally an Egg Knight.
I don't know Aeon's Trespass. Oh, well, that's a 2022 title.
Yes.
That's why, Scott.
Oh, re-implements. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which came out in. Okay, wait a second. Oh, I guess it was an introductory set called And Marcin Welchnicki.
Yeah, this has got some pretty interesting stuff. You travel across cards. You travel across these cards, terrible script, terribly small. I don't know why they did
Terrible
this.
game, terrible script.
Interesting
terrible
when
game.
the your highest ranked game is not out yet.
Yeah, I know exactly.
I sorted by rank, and the first top rank is Aeon's Trespass.
Yeah,
That's
coming
cool.
soon.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. It's got some really interesting little systems that come together. It's brutal. It's hard, and it's when he said it was like Dark Souls.
Well,
he's
what
right.
was that? What was
It's
that
pretty
game
tough.
you were hot on like last year, or was it last year or year before? Like it was a Monster Hunter type game.
Oh, Primal. Yeah, I still got
Is that out yet? Did that come out?
No,
I don't think so, because I haven't
That
got it. I haven't got it.
Man, that game ain't coming to 2023. You got to be kidding me. That game is not going to be coming. That shit ain't coming to 2023. I'm not even thinking about that game. That game is. I still have a prototype here because I like it that much.
I'm not giving it back.
Let me ask a weird question.
Before I forget the name of the game, Legacies.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Legacies came out. Is out.
Legacy.
I have it right here. Yeah.
Weren't you hot to trot on that? First?
Oh, Time of Legend. Oh yeah, they got rid of the Time of Legends. Yeah, as a family weight
Yeah.
game.
It's
Yeah.
family weight. The box is
Legacies?
like huge.
No, not Legacies. No.
Wait, what game? What game
No.
am I talking about here?
This
What
one
fuck
here.
game?
Hold on. I mean, maybe I misunderstood that. Let me find it. It's
Not
just called
the-
Legacies.
Yeah.
Cement your legacy through the past, present, and future. How will you be remembered? I mean, that's
Wait, the guy is this guy? No, I've never heard of this game.
Legacies is a heavy euro, man. It's a big heavy euro.
From Brook Pun Games. Oh, that looks fun as hell.
Brooks Bun.
Oh yeah, that looks meaty.
Okay, I thought you were really maybe I misunderstood. You were on.
That's too heavy. Horse doesn't like heavy shit like that.
I love heavy games. I just don't get
Whatever.
them sent. I don't get them sent to me in the
Whatever.
mail.
I wonder why.
Whatever.
I get the bullshit sent to me in the mail.
I
Bullshit.
wonder why.
Bullshit.
Better it
Right,
sits on my
everybody.
shelf of shame.
I see it, Matt.
I got a big
All right.
drive ahead of me tomorrow.
Oh, where you
You
going?
gotta go.
Going to see Sen in London.
Oh, that's right.
See what?
Going to see Sen in London.
Oh, Zen
We're gonna go play the Isofarian Guard.
in
Oh,
London.
you guys.
Oh, in
so you got it. You got
We
it.
got it, yeah.
Not London,
Okay.
England.
All right.
The real London.
Ontario.
He can't drive to London.
Yeah.
Scott.
It's a 6-hour drive.
You
Tell
can
me
drive
what
to
you
the
think next
airport.
week, man. Tell me
You
what
can
think
if you had a
about it.
James Bond car.
I'm
What's
so
that,
jealous.
Jeremy?
I said, tell me how it is next week, man. I'm so jealous. I didn't have any time to crack it open too. It's really
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
really
I went to Staples and I printed out all the rule books so I could mark them up with the Sharpie.
Beautiful.
But
You're prepared.
yeah, well, we're auditing, right? So it's gonna be cool. Yeah, I got the new Jack Reacher book all set, ready to go on audiobooks, and I'm excited to listen to that on the way
How
there.
about that?
Hopefully the truckers don't lock you in.
Well, no, I can get on the highway.
If you run into any problems, just tell them you know me. They'll
A man from Canada.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's good. Let him through.
I just can't anymore. Like it's I'm ashamed. I'm so ashamed. I really am.
I know.
Anyways,
Canada's
have a good
reputation.
night, fellas. We'll see you next week.
Take it easy, man.
Matthew.
God, I'll send you some stuff and
Stuff.
chat.
Sure.
All right.
Lance, what you have, man? What are you about to say?
Well, I was gonna ask, this is a weird question, but
Weird.
have any of you had, I mean, I'm sure you've all had, I mean, it's just, well, I'm guessing, but I mean, because it just recently happened to me again for like the first time in forever. Have any of you like dreamt about board games? Like you fall asleep and you have a dream about it? I literally, like a few days ago, I had a dream where like I have a copy of Axis of Allies, the like 25th anniversary edition or whatever, or 50th anniversary edition or whatever, that actually, you know, like added destroyers and stuff like that to the game. It was like, and it is like, it was around for like, well, and then it went out of print forever. And then I remember it was like, you could sell it for like $500, $600 at one time. And now it came back into print. So it got more thing, but I had a dream where I finally cracked open the shrink on that and like set it up and played that game for some reason. And it was like a vivid dream. And I was just like, I can't be the only person, but I don't know why. I don't know why. Why do you have any dream about anything, right? It just some little chemical in your brain squirts it out, and then forces you to think about whatever that particular night. But I mean, I was wondering, you don't ever dream about a board game?
I just literally had this. My wife
I don't
said,
remember that I've had a dream about a board game, but no.
My wife said last night that I was talking about the cost of a board game.
And you're sleep.
She said, you said something about 750 raw stone something. She was like, you literally were like talking in a sentence in your sleep. It was the most weirdest thing ever. She was like, you kind of were like with it for a second or something, and then you passed out. I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I said 750 is not a number I don't even know, but she's like, that's what you said, 750 something raw stone. I was like, oh, okay, interesting. So apparently I must have been dreaming about a board game, something like that. It was on my mind.
I've dreamt about game mechanics. I thought I invented a new mechanic or a new game, and I wrote it. I woke up and wrote it down and looked at it later, and it was like nothing. Like, have you ever had the dream where you think you're like inventing a new mechanic, and basically when you really analyze it, it's like, oh, you're turning a card over. You're flipping over a card. Like, yeah, I've had that.
That's what I think I'm doing in real life during the day when I'm thinking about designing a board game.
Flipping over cards.
I put that in a board. I put some of my idea in a board game design group, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, there's a game that does this." It's like, "Oh damn it!" But it's not the same. It's not the same. Actually, a couple designers like, "I think I know what you mean," but yeah, it was like kind of a letdown right away. They're like, "Nope, like this, like that, like that, like that." But,
the designer of Corkle had a dream about it. She wrote. She dreamt it. Woke up, wrote it down. Later that day, printed it out. Mocked it up and played it, and boom, that was it. Like nothing changed. That was it.
Damn.
Done. Wayne Spiel is yours.
That's like what a long shot.
Yeah. What was that game that was? What was the game? Somebody said they were at a. Damn it! It was by what's a publisher that made Muse? Muse. Like a singing.
Oh yeah. That's Quick Simple Fun.
Quick Simple Fun. They had
a guy that used to run BG or.
They had like a veggie garden, I think it was. Somebody said that this girl was like this. I think it was a woman who was walking around. She was just listening to people pitch and stuff like that, and she wrote down a design and kind of figured out how to do it. And she came up with something, pitched it, and got it signed that day. And I think that was the design, veggie garden. I remember hearing that. I get some of these games just
amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. The designer of we did a highlight on the designer of Phase 10.
Okay.
He played Uno. Locked himself in his apartment for like a weekend and came up with Phase 10. It's like the second best-selling card game of all time. Eric dug into this today. It's really interesting story. I didn't know anything about it. I mean, I've always seen Phase 10. Like right. I never played it and didn't realize it was so popular.
Oh, it's a great game.
Is it?
Great game. Yeah.
What do you do?
Phase 10, man.
You phase 10s.
So pretty much everybody starts on phase 1 and you'll have a pretty simple goal to accomplish. Whoever accomplishes that moves on to phase 2. If you don't move on to phase 2, you're still working on phase 1, which means your goal is slightly easier than the person on phase 2.
And you keep going through the different chains. So it's like, 3 of a kind. If you manage to get 3 of a kind, you can go to phase 2.
I see.
Now you need a run of 3. Did you get a run of 3? Okay, cool.
So it's a little rummy
phase 3
type thing.
Yeah, it's a little rummy thing.
Cool.
Yeah, we've played it. My family plays it, and we scream and yell at each other.
Yeah.
Because it has, at least with our family.
Can you set people in the game?
Well, you can definitely like make sure like table talk. You can say, he obviously needs this. Don't give him that. That kind of thing.
I would enjoy that. I think.
Yeah,
no, you definitely would, because a lot of people do it.
Yeah, I mean, I never played it. I've heard of it.
Like, and then
everybody
once you get to like phase 8 or phase 9, so you're getting close to winning, like everybody else at the table is just like, just watching you like a hawk. And it's like, well, he took a 7.
He took
He
a
took a 7. Don't give him a 7. You're telling everybody, don't freaking give him a 7. Don't give him a 7.
Right.
Don't do it. Don't fucking do it.
I'd totally play that game.
So
Hey, Scott was right, Lance. You are unpleasant to play with.
My Michelle's family plays this game called God, what is it? Something Trash. I think it's called Trash something. It's not a real game.
Slamwich?
No, it's not. They made it up. The family made it up, and I played it with them. I'm like, this is not a game. Like,
is it the one where you have to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? You get the cards in the row.
He just said they made it up themselves.
It's not even. I tried to figure out the rules. It's nothing. Like, it's a rummy game where you got to do, rummy type things. But like, there's
how many cards is it? Is it 7 cards? Because we call it tunk.
Tunk.
Yeah.
What do you do? You draw a card, play a card.
Black folks, it's just called tunk. So it's 7 cards, and you still got to get like the rummy runs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you don't get the penalty for getting out early. You just have to have the lowest hand.
I'm trying to remember. I mean, what I think I played it a long time ago, and I told them I'm not playing it anymore because I couldn't formulate any strategy or any kind of game out of it. It was just
that's probably what it is. It's just tough because it has the same. It's the same, pretty much the same as Rummy, just not the restrictions and penalties. So yeah. All right, I'm trying to work on something to try to come up with some new content, and I don't know if this is. I just need help. It's in a skeleton stage. I don't know. So I came into gaming in 2015. I would say games after 2015, I'm pretty much good to go. I think I'm good to go there. I don't want to do underrated gyms and shit like that. I don't want to do that shit.
Right.
People don't care about old games.
They don't.
Right.
No, don't bother. Don't waste your breath.
Yeah, they don't.
No,
Maybe do like one thing that highlights your top 100 games from 2015 and before, but like, I wouldn't spend any more time on it than that.
The thing is I want to make it interactive. So I want people to.
Nobody cares.
Right. I want people to send me to the game though. Like I want people to find the games, tell me the games that I need to do. If I like this game, I like that game. I'll play this game. Like if it went back to Dominion, then I'll go back and play Dominion. But I've never played Dominion, nor do I feel like I have to. I played Aeon's End. I love Aeon's End. It's better. That's how I see it.
Dominion's pretty good.
Different.
But I mean, like, how does that work as a content thing?
But
people tell you to play.
Well, that's the thing. The content would be like kind of like. This is the beginning of what I thought was. I understood the assignment, which is a thing that's like a meme right now. Like I understood the assignment. So the assignment is, I say, hey, I want to play a deck builder. What essential vitamins do I need to know in order to play a good deck builder? So what game should it be? And then I'll give a list of the games that I know I would play, but I would like some older ones. Or I've played a lot of games that seem to be like Concordia, but I never played Concordia. So then I'll play Concordia and then tell you how I feel about Concordia and review it.
Define older though.
Right.
Back to 2015.
Like I said, if it came out in 2015 after, I'm good. Like I know. I know I'm aware of whatever.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's, as a gamer, it's good to know that stuff. Like it's your job. Like there's like a million great games out there that nobody talks about.
Yeah.
And but the problem is you spend all this time doing stuff for it and then nobody will watch it because they don't care.
Yeah. The thing is that I feel like when you say that, I totally agree with you, but at the same time, if you make it audience interactive, I feel like there's a way that you can get it to go. It just has to kind of find a life of its own.
But how would the audience interact? Like during live?
So they would either, this is my thing.
You should just try something.
I'm just going to try it. So I'm
try something.
People pitch me a game. They're going to pitch me a game I should try, and why? Because I did it this is why I know I feel like it'd be a good thing to have audience interaction.
Yeah.
When I did my top 10 for solo games, the biggest piece of feedback I got was, this is cool because people got to submit their game to you for the thing. And I had 3 out of the 20 people that contributed, 3 of them were from just random people. Like one guy was from BGG and the other 2 guys from random Facebook groups. And I was like, if I can get people to do that for my show, like even if it's just one person or two people, and I just pick them out of the 5 people that I may get from the email, I think that'd be kind of fun. It'd be different. It takes time to grow that kind of shit. It just can't just be like, oh, I got 10,000 views. Let's start from there. Here we go. Like it just can't. Like
I honestly do wish old games generated views. Because I love talking about old stuff that we put.
You have to do mass market. That's about it.
Or I mean, but the thing is, our channel already covers all the new hotness, so we're good there. We're good there. We're good there on the front end that I want to try stuff on the back end. We're good there. Trust me. What I want to do is do something that goes back to basics. Because when I cover games that are imported, that's where my hole is, because I like that stuff a lot. Nobody watches any of that shit. like when I cover games that are from Taiwan, I cover games that are from Taiwan. I cover abstract. Nobody watches any of that shit. None of it. So
I mean, it's sad to say, but it's very hit driven now.
Right.
It's like even the newest stuff isn't guaranteed, because you got to get new and sold 100,000 copies on Kickstarter, or whatever, 5,000, 10,000 copies on Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
It's the bar is super high now.
It's super high. Like this game here, Key to the Kingdom, right here. One of my most anticipated games, based off a fun game from I was a little bit younger. I'd never even heard of fucking game.
That was from the 80s.
And
what game is it?
Key to the Kingdom
or 90s.
Oh yeah, I saw
93. 93.
Yeah, I remember it. It's bad.
And
we thought it was bad. Maybe
and
so the people don't.
They made a really fun game out of this. It's such a twist on like just roll to resolve, man. Like fun roll to resolve.
Oh,
like,
okay. It's just brand new.
Yeah, like they made.
Does it have the big giant book in it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Big giant book.
But they didn't have they. This is restoration.
Yeah.
Have they modified the rules? Because I remember it being bad.
It stretches when I demoed that, and you don't want to play at the higher player counts, and you probably are only going to want to play with kids. Like this is a kids family game. This is not a game.
It's a family game because adults just don't want to do it. Like adults just won't do it because it's roll to resolve with mitigation. Like there's not.
I'm surprised they didn't Eurofy it.
Yeah, there's nothing more to it, but it's so old school fun. Like when I play that game, I'm like, this is what I want when I was a kid. Like if I had this when I was a kid,
I love Talisman, and it hasn't evolved in 40 years. 30 years.
We have Marvel Talisman.
It's still the same game.
Talisman. We have
still the same game.
Scratchy Talisman.
It's still a D6.
It's like Monopoly.
Did they change it? Actually, I got the Batman one. I haven't played it yet, but
I've never.
Have they changed it? Have they played this? Changed the Star Wars one? I imported that.
Yeah, it's got Darth Vader.
I know, but have they changed the rules?
No,
I've never played Talisman.
The Talisman from the 40K Talisman. What was that called? Relic. Now it's still Talisman, but they added some quality of life things that make you like not hate the game.
Okay.
It gives you a chance to come back and win if you have a bad start.
Just so you know, haven't played Talisman either.
Yeah, I think you're the only one here
add it to
other
your
than
list.
Lance that has.
God, is there a Talisman currently in print, like the regular fantasy one?
Who's printing it now?
Eating my hair.
Oh, I think Op
Was
has
it
the rights to it to do all the spin-offs, so I imagine they'd have the original.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you get the? Let me see.
I bought Kingsburg.
That's a good game.
I love me some
You
kids.
can pick it up for You can pick it up for
Roll
$42.
Did you get the second edition with the all the extra fancy stuff, Jeremy?
Yeah, with all that because I watched somebody play a round or two, and I was like, I like this game.
It's great.
Was that the only difference?
Yeah.
I have the original. I don't have the
make
second.
sure you get it with the expansion stuff, because without the expansion, it's just not as exciting. And then he was right.
It looks
'cause
like
I
what,
had to use it, I was
Pegasus?
like, Jesus Christ.
Pegasus Spiela has it.
Pegasus
Yeah.
Spiela has
Fourth
it,
edition revised. You can buy Star Wars on Amazon.
Star Wars Talisman.
70. It's only 78.58
Just only 78.58 for
only.
That's all.
Yeah, it's still Star Wars. It's still Talisman, right?
Yeah, still tells. But it's probably got a couple hitches to it, right? Wrinkles.
I got an augmented reality game in the mail today. That was pretty cool. I've got a chance to check it out. I got a Flex NBA, which they did a Kickstarter.
USAopolis printing.
Yeah, they do a bunch of extra talismans.
Yeah.
But I guess it's like a collectible thing, where it's like there's these big old pieces, and they're like augmented reality, but they're NBA players. It's,
dude, that's
that guy contacted me too, and I was just like, "Yeah, that game looks like garbage. See you later."
Well, here's the thing: I did the Kickstarter critique for them, and they just sent this to me with the hat and everything. They actually
they want you to be a developer.
This is the crazy part, though. They sent me a letter, and they said after seeing the Kickstarter critique, they fired the agency that did their Kickstarter campaign.
What?
Yeah. I tore apart the Kickstarter. Like I didn't think it was very well.
Did they go live? Did it go live or something?
Yeah, they said they raised like they only did 44,000.
Right.
But they said there's like 1.2 million pre-orders in Series 2 already.
No, they don't.
Well, I got a letter.
Oh, well, I wonder if I can put 1.2 million on a letter. What is it? Kickstarter was NBA Flex. Is that what it's called?
Let's see. It says, despite the flaws on our page, we hit our target in 27 minutes and shut down the advertisements after 24 hours because they were selling too much. They were 400%.
We were just making too much money.
A virtual.
We have since gone on to completely sell out by 540% for Series 1 and have booked 1.2 million in orders for Series 2 already. Our Flexagons are on sale on eBay for hundreds of dollars. Oh shit!
Wait, what?
I got some eBay to do. This is NBA Flex, and my big fancy one I got is Rudy Gobert. So maybe he's worth $100.
Spell it.
NBA Flex NBA. I mean, it's just FLEX.
I call bullshit.
I call total bullshit too. They made 68 grand and had 290 backers.
But they do have the NBA license, the NBA Players Association. That is worth it.
I remember hearing about this project, but I thought it was gone. I didn't think it was like actual still around.
I believe that it probably is something that's going to be big worldwide because of how popular the NBA is worldwide.
I don't think you'll see anything about this ever.
Well, you're gonna see a fucking unboxing video on Bauer's Game Corner tomorrow. That's
well, okay. I guess you got me there, but
I'm excited to try because I don't know if you can record augmented reality. Can I pick that up? Can I record that?
You can. You can record it on your phone.
I'm excited.
Okay.
Good for them. I don't want to poop on their parade. I hope they make a good.
You get a factory sealed box for $500 right now.
Whoa!
Let me see
I'll tell you mine
not
factory sealed for 50 after I shoot a video on it. Well, I need to see if these things are worth some money on eBay.
I want to see completed items here. People bought any sold items.
I just want to see Keith Lee on AEW. Oh my god! Oh my gosh!
So you're thinking I shouldn't cover old games at all?
No. Well, no. I think what you should do is
don't spend a huge amount of time on it.
Do it, Jeremy. Do it.
Can I answer his question? Maybe.
All right, do it.
What I think you should do, Jeremy, is you should call it something like dusting off a classic or something, and just and
from the vault.
And then just do a don't do a 6-minute video, not even 6 minutes. Do a 5-minute video. Just don't show how the game is played. Don't do anything like that, and then just compare it to recent games that have come out, and just say,
so just basically say what the concept of the game is, and then I would say, hey, you know what? I haven't played this original, but now that I have, I know why I love this game.
Yeah. And you can just say, it's here, check this out. I'm just gonna look over at one of my game shelves over here with some older games on it. You could definitely you could say, hey, It's like you've probably heard of Stone Age, but I doubt good chance you never played it.
Nobody
know,
ever played that.
You know, it's just like it combines classic worker placement with a push your luck initiative with determining how many dice you get to roll, and that determines how much resources you get. It's like you have to decide, where do you want to put your people to maximum effort, and will the dice be kind? Just like there's a reason why
you do TikTok.
Everybody owned this game and everybody played it when it came out 10 years ago. Do yourself a favor, go to your local game store. Dollars to Donuts, it's on their demo rack and it has sat there unloved for years.
It's on the used rack. It's on the used rack, and they stopped selling used games.
And give it a play. It's like I think you'll be. It's like fabulous art, great components. You'll enjoy it.
I don't know if going in with the mindset that this is like this or better than that. It's
what it is though. Like whatever it is,
you don't know until you play it. I mean, you're playing.
It could be good. It could be bad. Shit, like. Just because a game is a classic, I am not all about bowing to the popular. Like,
I was going with the reverse of what you.
Yeah, whatever it is. If it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. Like people, I think people are like Concordia. When somebody played with Aquatica with me, they were like, "Oh, well, it has the card mechanic like Concordia," and I was like, "Well, I've never played Concordia, but I like Aquatica, so maybe I'll like Concordia." Like,
yeah, I haven't played Aquatica.
So it's like when you play the two, you go like, "Hey." If I say it's like Aquatica, that may ring in somebody's head and go, oh, okay, cool. Like now I know that I might like this type of game. But like just that kind of stuff. Like I'm playing with the old and the new.
I mean, I
feel like
I would like to see that, but I just have this weird feeling that nobody will care. I mean, some people will.
Yeah.
But
no, I was thinking you were going.
What's your goal on the channel? Like,
my goal on the channel is just to find something fun and new to try and
do it then.
And experiment with stuff. I just
want to enjoy the 7 views and then move on.
If you want it to be popular, here's my recommendation as the person on here who covers the most old shit. I would do a segment possibly where you talk about a mass market style game that has shipped tons of units, but then you say, I like this game a lot because it reminds me of Phase 10. And you find a game that has some sort of core mechanism for Phase 10, and you go from that mechanism in the game that they presumably will not know, because most likely if they're watching this video, they might be newer to the hobby. And those, as soon as you put Phase 10, Monopoly, Uno into a title, it becomes a lot more likely to be an evergreen video and just trickle forever and get more engagement. But you pretty much just say, this is why I like this game because it reminds me of this game. I think that would be a segment that could really work.
It trickles forever, like an old man in a bad prostate.
In a pickle, man. In a pickle, do the trickle.
Oh my god.
By the way, BGG says Skipbo is like Phase 10. If you like Skipbo,
I love me some Skipbo.
Sequence, Uno attacks, categories, apples to apples, and Farkle. Those are the
apples
top.
To apples. What the hell? Get out of here.
Oh, what the fuck?
But it goes by ratings of who rates what. If you rate Phase 10 high, it matches up with other people who rate Phase 10 high and apples to apples, right?
And I bet if they're on Board Game Geek and they're rating those highly, in 6 months they're going to be rating Munchkin highly. I make that bold prediction.
Mad Gab. Oh, I like Mad Gab. I had some fun with Mad Gab.
Mad Gab is enjoyable.
Yeah.
By the way, I gotta say, if anyone's looking for a fun game for kids right now on Amazon, Blank is stupidly inexpensive. What? It is one of the best legacy games of all time. Blank, yes, by Hub Games, who's like going under or whatever, but
Blank.
it is
we talked about it.
Blank, yeah.
It's Uno Legacy, and it is God.
I actually thought about Rory and Hub Games briefly today.
I know, what a sad story. I mean,
don't talk
here's
shit
the thing.
About
He
Rory,
sold,
man. I want to talk about Rory, man.
His product for probably gobs of money. So maybe
let's not talk about Rory, man.
Well, no, this is
not
just
talking about him, are we?
This is my theory. This is my when he stole story cubes. Like I always wonder, like what
sold, not stole. You said What'd you say?
Sold.
Okay, I thought you said
Oh, I
SOLD.
heard stole
SOLD.
too. I was
So,
like,
he sold it.
yeah.
Sold
he
it.
probably
Did
did
I miss
actually.
something?
Like,
Usually
no,
classic.
he sold SOLD story cube. I mean, and I have no idea what the deal was or what it was or whatever. I often wonder, like, was it a wise decision, right? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, because I think his idea was, and I'm not, and this is gonna come across as like being this is gonna come across as me like maybe like saying, oh, you know, like what a dummy. But I don't think Rory. I mean, I've hung out and spent like entire days with him and Michael Fox, like testing games and doing stuff.
Where did
And-
Mike land, by the way? Where did Mike land? You
I
know?
don't know where Mikey landed. I gotta
Yeah,
give him
I
a
have
call
to-
one
I
of
have
these
to-
days.
I
Isn't
talk
he?
to him.
Isn't he
Yeah.
on the unfair? I could have swore I just saw his name on a Kickstarter a few days ago.
No, Kim.
Yeah,
Kim would
it's
have mentioned
possible.
it.
He might be working with
Michael Fox?
He
Yeah.
might be
Glasses?
working with Nils now, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, but I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. My
I
whole
like
point
it.
is that like Story Cubes was like, you know, that was like his like that might be like the one thing that's like that'll go on forever without him, right? You know?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was one of those things where it was like, oh, hey, I had this great idea. This company came in and wants to buy it from me. I don't want to have to keep maintaining this good idea and doing everything. I want to be able to create other things and create newer things and do different things as well. So I'll cash out and whatever. And I always wonder, did he get a thing where it's like, you know, will I still, because my name's on it, do I get like
Something.
you know, something like, do I get mailbox money, you know,
1%.
in perpetuity, you know, going forward?
Yeah,
I don't know. Who
$1 every
knows?
game. Yeah.
I
something
mean,
like that.
you're pretty much asking, should you sell an evergreen? And it's just like, I mean, that's really the base question there. Should you
Like
sell
if
your
you would you
evergreen?
sell? Would you sell? Yeah, like you can look at something. I mean, like this could be comparable, like Everdell. Like it's just a game that just prints money, and you just do you sell
I'm
it?
guessing if you sell something like that, you're going to have to take the money that basically sets you up for life,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, I
that's your
think
one
that's it.
thing you made in the world, and there's no guarantee you're going to be able to make another.
Yeah, or
So
it's
your
just
price would be
sizable.
high. At least mine would.
But if
Yeah.
it's just sizable right now, it's like fuck, why not? Like if you just like if you took a card game and they were like, I'll cut you a check for $250 right now, I would just take the check. Like who's to say that it's, you know what I'm saying?
250.
250K.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I assume there's a K on the end of that. By the way, Michael Fox
250
is
million.
in brain games
That's
now.
right.
He's in brain games.
All right, that's that tracks.
But you know,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You sell your thing, your dream, for the right price. I mean, you don't. It's got to be the right
dude,
price.
and they publish some fun ass games for Hub Games, man. They had this Mega City game. It was crazy, kind of dexterity, kind of building.
Yeah, I
game.
don't know why that didn't take off.
Dude, that should have took off. I
Yeah,
mean,
Because we don't live in an era where, you know.
Well, they kickstarted it too, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Which game?
I thought they did. I thought they kickstarted all their stuff.
No. Oh well, yeah. Well, they did. I did the preview for Prism Arena, which was a great idea.
Which
It was a
one?
great family game idea called Prism Arena. And what you do is like, okay, so think of like Tron, where you're like battling against each other. Like, so you
Well,
don't
they
do
say
the-
everybody's got a price right now, according to Worth of Web. Aldi's price is $63.5 million.
Man, you lowered your standards, Scott.
I wouldn't sell it for that long.
Somebody
What?
came up to you and offered you $63.5 million. You'd say no, thank you. Like cash.
Look at this motherfucker right
Like no,
here.
no, look at this guy. Look at no, I mean like
Look at this
cash.
motherfucker right here.
Like here it is, cash. It's like you know.
I would have the conversation.
You'd
Yeah.
have the conversation.
I like it. No, I respect
Dude,
that. Yes. No, I
Asmodee sold for
respect
$1
that.
billion.
I respect.
So you
that.
think you're just as big as
Three,
Asmodee?
so no, wait, what was it?
No.
No, what was Asmodee sale price? 3 billion? 3 billion. 3 billion.
So
Yeah.
you're just as big as Asmodee, is what you're saying.
No,
He knows what he's worth.
but
Well,
if you're
no,
gonna
I mean,
pay 3 billion, 60
You can
million.
certainly,
What-
you can
that's
certainly
like
spend
that's like
63
that's like a rounding error for the 3 bill. I mean, come on.
I don't know. I if I had anything,
I would probably you would. I'm just joking. Yes, I probably would take that as ridiculous.
I'm gonna say right now.
But here's the
this
thing:
is so
60
long that
million
com-
is not that high for a website internet company.
But
Yeah.
here, I'll just
I
say
mean,
this.
it's not.
It's not that
Somebody
high.
came to me and
I'm-
if they
dude.
offered me 63.5 million for anything. This conversation would be like, we'd like to offer you 63.5 million. Yes, I signed my name. I signed my name. You can't take it back. You can't take it back.
I just don't believe in taking the first offers, man. First offers are tough. First offers are tough. There's just so much you're giving away.
Yeah.
If you know
63 billion would start the bidding.
Right.
It would start the
That's-
bid. Then we
that's
get
what I'm
all the
saying.
companies.
63
All the
is like
companies
the-
can make me offers, and then
Right.
that's what happens.
That's the
We'll
beginning.
see what the real money will be. What real offer would be.
Plus, I'm sure Aldi has a person or two that say, "Hey, I got an offer. I have my first offer in. Now would be the time to make your offer." There's always that too. There's always people who are like out of the woodwork and be like, "Oh, it's time. Let's do it." Like so. Yeah, man. That's a tough.
I mean, I'd be like the
63 is
scene,
low,
the scene
man.
in The Simpsons
But
when he was
YouTube,
looking for health insurance, and they were like, "Sir, it says here under heart attacks, you wrote down 4." Oh no, I'm sorry, that's a mistake. I thought it said brain lesions. Oh, okay. Yeah, as long as you just go ahead and sign here, you'll be okay. And he starts to sign. He has another heart attack. He's like, "Oh, I put an X. That counts." That counts. Yeah, I don't know. It's all yeah, there you go. Other than
I wonder why I went down by 30 mil.
because Worth
I mean,
the
the
Web
numbers
is-
are all
is-
higher than they have ever been, so I don't know.
because
what-
Worth the
I don't
Web
know
is a
what to feel.
shady ass.
Yeah, I've been just curious what they use to make the calculations.
When you typed in Worth of Web, the first thing you come up with Google thing, is it accurate?
No.
Yeah, so yeah, that's why I wouldn't well, I was hoping one other person would show up, but I got my 10 questions for Stump Forest. So
Hold on, I gotta get a drink first.
yeah, okay, get a drink. And
That's
then
some
we'll
munchies.
we'll do our Stump Forest.
I want to play Talisman now with Jeremy.
You wanna play that?
Oh, we should play it online,
should-
man.
Yeah, we
You do
should.
all?
It's
Yeah, I
pretty
mean-
slow though. I mean, I played it. It's okay.
If
but
you
it's
you can
slow.
speed everything up though, like you can get
And
rid of all
turn off the
yeah.
animations
Let
and
me
all
get
that
a
stuff.
drink.
It's not super fast, but you can definitely
I just want to. I almost feel like it doesn't matter now, but it's like for me, it matters to kind of have like I've never been a person that's like a historian of anything, but I do feel like it would be interesting for me to be like, hey, like, I don't know everything because some people think you know more than you. They give you a lot of credit. I'm like, dude, like, there's a lot of shit I don't know about. Trust me. But I would like to just kind of go like, where did all this shit come from? Where did this design come from? Because clearly it was inspired by something. Like there are some designers who actually have the balls to just be like, oh no, I was clearly inspired by this.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who don't, and you're like, why don't you just say, hey, like, it's this game with a twist, and that's okay. Like, it's okay. But you don't see a lot of that in board game design. Everybody wants to make it seem like they're all innovators, and like you're not at all. Like, it's okay if you're not either. It's actually okay if you put two things together, and then that's a fun game on its own. So yeah, I don't know. I just want to. I'm gonna just try
again
something.
to quote The Simpsons. It's like, this doesn't seem like a good product. Why don't you just take an existing thing and put a clock on it?
I would watch whatever you're coming up with, man. I'm curious. I want to see.
Yeah. Or Lance,
I would just keep it short. Like, don't put the whole enchilada. You know what I mean?
So here's what I've I've often sometimes when I'm just sitting and thinking and I think I actually have time to do stuff, I've actually said, man, one of the biggest problems I have right now with making content, if I wanted to make content, because I have tons of like role-playing game stuff I've read that I want to put my thoughts on video for. And but like my wife's been working from home, which I love. I love the fact that she doesn't have to endanger herself in any way, shape, or form. And I love having her here. But she's been working from home for, damn near 2 years now. And they might be switching over to like 1 day a week in office in March, maybe thinking. And it was like, that's one of the things though. It's like me being able to set up and make noise. I'm getting old, man. I can't stay up until 2 a.m. making videos anymore. I used to do that all the time. Stay up and then edit until like 4 and then go to sleep for 3 hours and get up and get the kids to school and work straight. And I'd be like, now
I promised myself I wouldn't do that anymore or I would quit. So
yeah,
I've got it down to a science now. You can do it. You can do it.
One of the things I love doing now is going to bed at like 9:30, 10 o'clock. Like after like literally it's like, like when you wake up and you've had 8 hours of sleep and you're still a little bit groggy, but not nearly as groggy as you used to be. It's like, it's a young man. It's as Rob Oren likes to say, it's a young man's game. It is. It's a young man.
You talked to Rob? I haven't talked to Rob in a while. You talked to him?
He and I had a phone conversation. We talked. We called and talked about Royal Rumble. We talked about wrestling for a while, and we laughed and joked and we had a good time. Yeah.
That was a real shit show.
Yeah, that was not much of a. There were so many botches.
There was no Royal in the Rumble.
And then
what was the big reveal? What was the big reveal? Who
Shane McMahon. Shane fucking McMahon was the big reveal.
And then they fired him.
And then they cut him. Yeah, what the? They cut him 2 days later.
I love anything else. No Rock.
So no. So Shane McMahon is the son of Vincent Kennedy McMahon, the guy who owns WWE. So he was the big surprise entrant. He came out.
His son was the big surprise.
His son, and he's
if you know wrestling, he's a former. He does a lot of stuff. He comes around once a year to jump off something high.
Yeah, where he doesn't really do that much anymore. But he came out and
broke his spine probably.
And he ran around and he punched people and like if you watched, he was really hitting people. Like he was amped up. I mean, you could tell like he was amped up and he was throwing hands and so people were just like, okay, you're gonna throw hands, and they started throwing hands back, and then he calmed down a little bit, but then like they had this plan for him that he had pitched, and he had pitched these ideas or whatever for continuing storylines, because that's what Royal Rumble does. It's supposed to create like storylines. Oh, I eliminated you and I was your friend, but I betrayed you. And then it creates a storyline where those two people feud for a while. And then 2 days later, like basically because everybody who works for them is an independent contractor, including Shane McMahon, they were just like, we have released Shane McMahon from his contract. It was just like, yeah, we decided, no, we don't like any of the ideas that you had or any of the directions we're going. And they threw him out. I mean, he's still, Vincent's, he's still, McMahon's son. He stands to inherit the world. Well, actually, his sister does, but the Rumble was garbage. It was, and then
both of them were. It was super.
Well, and then it was like, and everybody knew Ronda Rousey was coming back, and Ronda Rousey came back, and for the girls, and
what did she do?
She won. I mean, so then she challenged Charlotte Flair for the she's at WrestleMania. She'll take on Charlotte Flair for the thing.
Oh wait, Johnny Knoxville.
Oh yeah, Johnny Knoxville came in, and that was
because he's got a movie.
Because Johnny Knoxville came out and he did the same thing too. He walked up to AJ Styles, and they must have said, okay, well, here's how you throw a forearm to make it look real, like look like you hit somebody. And he walloped AJ Styles like right across the side of his face. You can see the red mark on AJ Styles' face. And so like literally every big person was like, well, Johnny Knoxville's here just to basically get thrown around and beaten up. So all of them just proceeded to do their move on him. Here's a choke slam for your trouble. There's this guy called Omos, which is this I think is he from Nigeria? I forget where he's from.
He's 7'4".
Yeah, he's 7'4", and not like skinny 7'4". Like I am a tree. Yeah, and he picked up Johnny Knoxville and like lifted him up. Like he was, God, I mean, he had to be a good 10, 11 feet up in the air and then just slammed him back down.
How is Johnny Knoxville still alive? You know he's got brain damage from the show,
Oh, I'm
right?
sure. Right?
Well, yeah, he's not allowed to like the newest. He didn't do any of the stunts. He just did like the
Commentary.
yeah.
Have you ever watched a Jackass movie?
Yeah, I think my daughter and I are gonna go to the new one just to go see it because we've laughed our butts off, and it is. Those shows are funny. I saw a thing where they said it. What they say that they said Jackass movies are review proof. You like literally, it's like you can't.
Yeah, you can't give if you give it a bad review, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and you know exactly what you're going there to get into to see. Yeah. You're there to see idiots just do idiotic things like allow themselves to be bitten by a rattlesnake.
I feel like the same thing about Marvel movies. It's like it doesn't matter what you say, the damage is already done in the box office, baby. Like it's like, oh, this is the worst movie. Oh, it made
but did the Eternals get? I mean,
you know what? Look at worldwide box office. Look at worldwide box office.
I'm sure it's different.
Let's see.
But they might have wanted to do like twice. You know, they have their internal.
I'll say this, and if you've seen it, I don't want anybody to say anything about it. But the local the Fargo Theater, which is like the art house theater, which gets like the non-major movies that are like big things. They got Licorice Pizza, and I was worried I wouldn't be able to see a Paul Thomas Anderson film. And they actually have set up their movies so like when you go and you sit, nobody can sit within like 2 spaces of you. So I get to go see Licorice Pizza this weekend. My wife and I.
Okay. I was about to say, wait.
400 million worldwide.
400 mil.
400 million.
400.
How much did it cost to make?
Actually, that's probably pretty good.
Probably like 300.
It costs. Yeah. What did it cost? I bet it costs.
That's probably pretty good.
Kabuki Kid, the RPG videos are coming back. I need to be able to do my thing inside the house without my wife has to she's got meetings and stuff like that. She can't hear me in the background saying, "This is why this RPG sucks." That doesn't help.
But only 164 million domestic.
No.
It's mostly international. 237 international.
Yeah, I don't.
But it's like.
Too. By the way, American people don't count when it bounces down to it, dude. We don't count unless we just don't. Like Russia does more than we do. We're not that big. We're not that big.
All right, Forrest, turn off your mic and mute what we're saying so you can't hear us. So we can do the Stump Forest.
Oh, okay. Let's see how to. Wait, I don't need to mute my mic.
No, but you gotta mute it so you can't hear us.
I don't know how to turn up. No way, I got this. Give me a second.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Somebody say something.
Say something.
No, it didn't work. Give me a second.
Just turn your speakers
down.
Just turn your speakers down.
I don't know, and I don't. They're all the way in the back. Just somebody talk.
Hello.
I'm talking right now.
200 million was the budget, by the way.
Here we go. This is it.
200.
So they made 207 million.
All right,
I assume you can hear me. I can't.
Yes,
hear
we can hear you, but you can't hear us. Okay,
here's the thing. I don't even know what the new standard is now. With what is it? If you made,
but didn't Spider-Man make like $1 billion?
No, I'm just saying.
Made $1 billion.
Dude, Spider-Man is a complete anomaly.
Oh, that Spider-Man movie was so good. I gotta go. I gotta watch that again.
I if you said Avengers and Spider-Man, those don't exist. They set their own bar.
Right.
All right, here we go. Here's the question.
Hold on. By the way, if you haven't seen Boba Fett, guess what? Every fucking episode is spoiled in their fucking commercials now. Like every single moment in the damn show. Jesus Christ! I saw the commercial just now. It shows one clip from every single episode that's important.
Well, don't worry, everybody spoiled everything anyway. So
did you see the finale?
Oh yeah,
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh
yeah, so
right.
Say nothing.
Stuck, and it's your assignment to see it.
Yeah,
it's your assignment to see it, Scott.
No, I'm gonna watch it after we hang up.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's not all right.
All right, here we go.
2 million for Shang-Chi as well.
Oh wait, what was that for Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi was 432 million.
So there you go.
So 400 million is their number. I mean, what was the other one before that?
I thought we were talking about the Internals.
Black Widow.
The
Oh,
Ninja
shit,
Turtles.
Black Widow is definitely that was in the pits of the
Oh,
pandemic. There's no way that movie went.
Yeah,
all I gotta say about Black
There's
Widow
no
is what
way
I
it
said
would- it
before.
would.
The only thing I want a Homeland TV show starring Black Widow's mom and dad.
Yeah,
Oh.
379 million worldwide gross.
That's
200 million
interesting.
budget though.
Okay.
So it's in the 400 close. It's
You
close.
said it was
Just
200
give
million
me,
budget.
yeah,
Holy
just
cow. I can't
yeah.
believe they spent 200 million on that thing. Didn't look like it. I mean, it looks good, but it doesn't 200 million.
Well, I never finished the movie. I fell asleep on it twice, and I just said screw it. So
It's a good one. I liked it. Me and Michelle watched it.
the Black Widow one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it was okay. I mean,
I like the parent, the family. Like that was awesome.
Oh yeah, I wanted to see like just give me them living in the United States in the 70s and 80s. Make it a TV show
Yeah,
about that. About
That's
them
a-
hiding.
that's an
Probably
extended
coming.
Marvel,
It'll
you
be
know,
on
Disney Plus.
Yeah, that
That's
would
why
be.
I like,
I would watch that all day long.
like they should just bring back Peggy Carter. Like just bring that back. Make it a show. Keep it on
Yeah.
Disney. Like I like that stuff. Like adjacent to the other characters, but in the world, and it's fine. And they can pop up whenever they pop up. Like, yeah,
It doesn't tie in there to movies.
or like Daredevil. Like they're like people that are just kind of like grounded superheroes in a sense, right? Like way more
Oh,
grounded.
Daredevil! I can't see him. Anyway, just here's my 10
She-Hulk,
questions.
She-Hulk?
All right, do it.
Yeah, I would love She-Hulk.
I would love She-Hulk.
She's hot. Anyway, all right. Oh man, I mean the She-Hulk run where she was breaking the fourth wall constantly and like the mid 90s. So such a good comic at that time. It was so good.
But
It was
Lance,
just-
when have you read a shitty She-Hulk run though?
I don't know. I mean, I still remember I
They're
remember the
not
one
bad.
time where
They're good. They're all good for me.
do you remember? Yeah, I can't remember what it was. It was in the late 80s or early 90s, and like she had to undergo. I forget what the reasoning was, but she had to undergo some sort of like gamma radiation treatment for something, and then they said, it's like the good news. The good news, Jennifer, is that Jennifer Walter. The good news is that we were able to do the thing or whatever to fix whatever it was. And she's like, "What's the bad news?" Well, they said the bad news is that you can never shift back to being Jennifer Walters ever again, because she was able to transform back and forth between the two different. And then she's like, and then the last line she says is like, "No, really, what's the bad news?"
Yeah.
It's like, she was just like, she was totally fine.
There's
And there was that groundbreaking, absolute groundbreaking one that when she was with the Fantastic Four, which is kind of risque, where she was sunbathing naked on the top of the thing, and then the helicopter flew by purposely to like basically like have her like she got up and they took a bunch of pictures of her, and they're gonna have the expose where she was, gonna be naked. It was
Lance, me and you could have our own comic book podcast. But
Oh, yeah.
I know our 22 viewers don't give a shit about our comic book run loves.
no. I mean, I've got lots of comments. Anyway, here we go. Here's the 10 questions. 2 questions. Here we go.
What's that noise in the background?
I don't know. It's Forrest
Tommy.
because he thinks.
Forrest left something on. You can mute him.
He
Right?
left his microphone on.
Can you mute him?
When CP drops to 0, that flex.
What was he watching?
I don't
knows?
know.
It was something
When
ridiculous.
CB drops to 0, control voltage. Is that what?
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, well, I can't hear them, so they can't hear me anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, here we go. Question number 1 of Stump Forest is: what state capital? What United States capital city is closest to Russia?
Oh,
Do you know?
geez.
That's right. It's a
Yeah,
little bit of a
that's
trick
good.
question.
I don't know if I'll get that.
It's Juneau. Remember when
It's
you were a
Russia
kid?
from my
And,
house.
remember when you were a kid? You
2
like,
miles.
as kids, don't you remember? You'd say like, "Hey, what You know how far
Yeah,
away
yeah.
Russia is from the United States, and people are like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like 1,000 miles. It's like 30 miles. And you're like,
Yeah.
what? And then you show them the
Yeah,
globe,
or
and you'd be like,
mhm.
the Bering Strait.
Yeah.
You guys remember that old TV show which showed like World War III? Remember the miniseries or whatever?
The day after?
Yeah, no, World War III was like, and they stormed like the Russian troops came across Alaska and attacked. Anyway, never mind.
I don't
It was
remember.
it was like in the late 80s. Anyway,
It wasn't the day after?
no, the day after was something different. Okay, what 3 countries made up the original Axis powers in World War II?
Japan, Germany, and Italy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know if we'll
the
get
Will
that. though.
You'll get that.
Yeah, I don't think he will.
Everybody knows that.
No, I don't think so. Scott. Yeah, I'm gonna say no.
Don't think so?
Nah.
All right, here we go. Who was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize?
Ooh.
I don't even know that.
Marie Curie.
That's correct.
Oh, that was a
Was
guess. You won't know that.
No.
All right, here we go. What is the largest ocean on Earth?
I don't get that.
Pacific.
Pacific. Yeah.
Yes.
That's easy. Come on.
Well,
Okay.
it's forest.
What
Remember
else is there?
last time we did this?
The
There's
Atlantic.
2 others you could think of.
In what year did the demolition of the Berlin Wall begin?
The fourth.
How old is he?
1989.
1989 is
Yeah,
correct.
but how old is Forrest?
He won't know that.
Yeah, that's from Canada.
He's our age though. He's our age, so
Is
yeah.
he already?
He's 52.
I thought he was younger. Well, me and
51?
Jeremy. Me and Jeremy.
Oh, you guys are younger.
younger.
Yeah. Sorry. I was thinking
I'm
myself.
40
I
I'm
thought he was
43.
like, yeah, me and Jeremy are 43. I thought he was younger than
So,
that.
how old were you when it came down? Do you remember?
I was a senior in high school. I
12,
remember I was
11.
I
I
was a
graduated
senior
high
in
school.
Oh, I say yeah, I was in like a
And all those
10,
all those scam companies were like selling pieces of concrete and saying this is an actual piece of the Berlin Wall.
We have a piece of the Berlin Wall here in Dallas. It's in one of the hotels.
Do you?
Yeah, it's in the hotel we were thinking about going to.
All right. What is the common name for dried plums?
Prunes. I don't know if we.
Prunes, yes.
Is it prunes?
Well, yeah, it's prunes.
But will
Okay,
he know
maybe.
Grapes, raisins, prunes. Yeah.
I love those things. I love.
that?
Um,
It's good. Keeps you regular.
he
I
might
feel,
get
I feel regular when I eat them.
that.
I might need to get some.
Yeah.
I've been
What?
down that road.
What TV series had the first interracial kiss on screen?
Star Trek.
Star Trek
No,
is
I love
yes.
Lucy. I love Lucy.
No,
Oh,
it was Star
yeah?
Trek.
No, but
They never
it
kissed.
is. Did they? And I Love Lucy.
All in the family.
No, it is Star Trek that's popular.
But-
I don't know, but he's right.
Was
I
it
Love
Star Trek?
Lucy technically was. Yeah,
But,
between Kirk and
we're talking about
Aurora.
like aliens, though.
No, it was between Kirk and Aurora.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
But I
Hmm.
don't know if I Love Lucy technically. I don't remember if they ever kissed on that show. Did they?
But I Love Lucy was not
You
interracial.
know what? Not that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
He was Cuban.
is?
Yeah.
But he was. I mean, I guess
Ricky
you
was
could call it
Cuban.
Hispanic,
He was
yeah.
Cuban,
yeah.
and they never slept in the same bed.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, they had separate beds. Couldn't show
So
it.
I guess it would have to be Star Trek for the first kiss then.
How progressive.
Yeah, Star Trek.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Next one is.
What's the
remember,
answer?
but will he get that? Star Trek. Star Trek.
Okay.
is
Oh,
the
Star
correct
Trek.
answer.
Okay.
Yeah, I got that. I think.
Who is the creator of Sherlock Holmes?
He would. Yeah. He.
Sir Arthur Conan
Nah,
Doyle.
yeah, I don't think we'll
That
get
is
that.
correct, but will he
I don't
know?
think we'll get that. No. Man, I'm really negative on the forest tonight.
Hey, you are. You have no faith.
In
I like where you're
what, in,
I gotta get a
what,
little more
s-
stoned.
in what sport would you find the terms dump, floater, and wipe?
Dump.
Dump,
Floater and wipe. Surfing?
curling.
Curling?
Volleyball.
I was
Ah,
gonna say volleyball, but
I know
I
it.
don't remember those words.
yeah.
Floater
I
was
play
the only one I
volleyball
thought
in
was
college.
volleyball.
Sorry, I don't even know. I've
I
never.
grew up in this city. Yeah.
You said volley?
Volley, yeah.
Volleyball.
No, I
Yeah.
didn't. You know what? I didn't
Volleyball.
hear that. Yeah, volley. Volley. But
I don't think we'll get it.
All right, here we go. And the last question is, what is the hardest rock?
Diamond.
Diamond.
Yeah.
That's correct. Yes.
I don't think we'll get it.
The hardest
that's gonna be-
mineral.
I feel like Kabuki Kid is correct. I feel like I Love Lucy is.
Well, I will accept I Love Lucy and Star Trek. How about that? For
Yeah,
that.
I think main belief is Star Trek though. Yeah.
But I
I
always
do
thought,
too.
if I remember the episode correctly on Star Trek 2, like not Wrath of Khan, Star Trek 2 is an also like the reason they kiss is because of some sort of like mind control thing that happens too. So like
Huh.
they left themselves an out, you know, like
Because they
like,
would never.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Oh,
it's
he,
like,
he was under a spell.
yeah, he was like
Yeah,
under
she was
a
under a
spell,
spell.
you know. I mean,
Right.
you know, just like because we would normally show this to your tender. I mean, it's like it's like there was an old show on BBC that was called Neighbors, and the premise of the show, honest to God, was there was a normal family, normal British family, but they lived next door to a black family. That was the whole thing. It was
That's the show?
called Neighbors. That was the crux of the thing. Like, oh my gosh, we live next to a black family. You know, it's like shocking. Yeah, look it up sometime. That's how far we've come with
All right.
Yeah.
I think.
Anyway,
he's under
I remember
5.
watching that just because it was on PBS. I mean, like because PBS showed all those old.
I'm giving him a 5.
Giving them a 5. What do
But
you
I
give
feel
them,
like it's
Jeremy?
more give me like a 4, but
I want to say 4 on this one, man. These are pretty tough.
I may want to
Okay.
go. I'm gonna go 4 as well.
All right, 2 4s. What do you got for me, Barry?
3.
3.
Oh, boy. Wow.
All right.
I
All
don't
right.
think we'll
Here,
get it.
we'll give him the
He's
double
gonna
thumbs
surprise
up.
us. There's only
Come on back in. He's not looking.
Can you hear us?
He's not looking. No, he can't hear us. He's not looking at the screen. To be fair, he's been waiting out there 20, 30 minutes now. Yeah. We had a whole discussion on She-Hulk.
Oh, well, how do you do? They got a button now.
Well, so apparently, like your robotic drug dealer was talking in the background when we were. So I had to mute you.
What do you mean his robotics truck?
Well, I don't know. Anyway,
We're listening to some about CV.
I don't know. Who knows?
No, I was listening to the instructions on that Flex NBA game.
Oh,
Do a gameplay video tomorrow.
There's some high price stuff there. I sent the link in the chat.
Woo! Oh, well,
Do you have a Kevin Durant?
No, Rudy Gobert's my one big one. Nobody cares about defense.
all right. Here we go.
No.
Here we go. Forrest, you ready? Here's your 10 questions.
Okay.
Here we go. What United States capital is closest to Russia?
Anchorage. Final answer.
See, he
Close.
doesn't know what the actual.
Shit, it's
Close.
Juno, isn't it? Is it Juno?
It's judo.
Damn
I
it.
like that answer though. You were on the right state.
Yeah, I mean, you were in the right state. You just
In
don't
the right
remember
country.
your
at least.
capitals. Yeah, I mean,
Fourth grade, I remember cheating. It was the only way I passed the 50 states, 50 capitals test.
why'd you have to cheat?
Because
'Cause
I was
apparently
just
you
a
can't
dumb
remember.
kid.
How did you cheat?
Oh, I got in trouble. So I had in-school suspension in his class. I got sent down to the office and I knew that he did the ISS. So he's eating his lunch, playing around on his computer, dicking around. He doesn't even want me in there. And so I just looked at the wall and cheated.
What do you mean looked at the wall? They had
It was
everything
the state
listed on
map.
the
Yeah, it was a
wall.
map. It was a map of the geography thing.
Well, but it's still a map. How close were you to the map?
I was sitting on the right side of the room.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't help me. Where was the map? I'm not in the room with you.
on the wall.
The map was on the right side of the room. It was covered for the geography part of the test that day, and it was uncovered then.
Okay.
Because you got suspended
You
and you were
realize
taking
since
it.
I didn't go to school with you and I wasn't in the room with you, when you tell me well, I was on the right side of the room, that doesn't mean anything.
Apparently,
Yeah,
if he
I
brought it
got
up,
you,
it
I
was
got
close to him.
All right, here you go. Question number 2. What 3 countries made up the original Axis powers in World War II?
Shit. Japan, Germany, and who was the scrub of the group? I don't even know. They were so insignificant. I want to say Russia or Ukraine, but I know Russia and Germany, they had a falling out. Fuck. Japan, Germany, and Russia. Final answer. Or no, it'd be Soviet Union. No,
It wouldn't
Who's
be
the
the
third
Soviet
one?
Union.
They were the allies.
Yeah, they Italy.
Russia was our ally.
Italy.
Italy, fucking Italy.
Eventually, Russia was. He's right though. Germany and Russia had a.
Well, no,
pact
they
in
agreed
the
not to fight.
beginning.
They
Yeah.
agreed not to fight each other and take over Poland together. So, all right, here we go. Not a rough start.
I'll start.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
that Alaska one.
Question number 3. Who was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize?
Shit. I don't know. That's the Peace Prize, Nobel Peace Prize. That sounds like a Mother Teresa type of. No, Mother. How old's Mother Teresa? Mother Teresa's. She just died like in the last 20 years. I'm gonna go with Helen Keller. Final answer.
Did Helen Keller ever win a Nobel Peace Prize?
I
Should've.
don't think she did.
She's
I
robbed,
like
man.
the record to show, Forrest. There are lots of Nobel Prizes, like not just peace.
She did win in 1958, by the way.
Did she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
The correct answer would be Marie Curie. Marie Curie for like science. I don't know exactly what it was, but yes.
Oh, it's a no peace.
Okay, here we go. Question number 4. Rough start.
It's probably physics.
I'm about to turn it around right now.
What is the largest ocean on Earth?
Oh, that's not a good one to turn around on. Well, I got a 1 in 7 shot. It's not the Indian Ocean, that's for sure.
1903, by the way, for Marie Curie.
1903.
Mhm.
No reactions until we have
I'm
an
not
answer.
saying anything.
This
I'm
coming
just
from
going-
you.
This is
Look
just
what you're doing,
that's
man.
a shot in the dark. This was like I didn't pay attention in school at this time period.
Is there
you know all the
a
oceans.
world map to your right in this
It
room?
said 7 oceans. What, can you name all 7?
I probably
Just-
could if you put a gun to my head. Pacific. Going Pacific. Final answer.
Ding ding ding.
I got one.
Just so you know, there are 4 oceans. There are 4.
What?
There are 4 oceans.
No, there's 7 continents.
Yes.
Yeah, I get Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Arctic. Right?
That's correct. Atlantic, Pacific, Indian, Arctic. Very good. Here we go. In what year did the demolition of the Berlin Wall begin?
Oh, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. What year was that? 80, 81? I'm gonna go with 1983. Final answer.
Oh,
I was born in 86. How the
Yeah,
fuck am
that's what I
supposed to-
said. I didn't think he'd even know.
I'm not laughing
1989.
with you on that one.
1989.
I was just stabbing in the dark. I knew it was
I'm
probably
not
in the
laughing with you.
All right, here we go. Question number 6. You got one right so far. What is the common name for dried plums?
plantain. Final answer.
You say a plantain.
I don't know. Who knows these things?
Have you ever seen a plantain?
I
They're
know
not
it's
your eye.
I don't know. What's the
A
answer?
prune. A prune.
Oh, Jesus, I love prunes. I didn't know that. All right, I'm about to run the table here. This is bad.
hey, wait, how many has he got right?
One.
One.
Well, how many are left?
We got 4 left.
Okay.
What TV series had the first interracial kiss on the screen?
Star Trek. Final answer.
Ding.
He's got 2.
He's got
Two.
2.
All right, here we go. Who is the creator of Sherlock Holmes?
Shit. I want to say Orson Welles. That does not sound right. He's War of the Worlds. H.H. Holmes? H.H. Holmes? That sounds right. No, Holmes is. Wait, what's the question again?
Question is, who is the creator of Sherlock Holmes?
Orson Welles. Final answer. Wrong answer.
Arthur Conan Doyle.
Doyle. Damn it. That was it.
Knew it.
That was one I had to hear it before I'd know that one.
Yeah.
Here we go. In what sport would you find the terms dump, floater, and wipe?
Dump, floater, and wipe?
In what sport would you find the terms
Were you going for some
dump,
bathroom humor there?
floater, and wipe?
Damn, Jeremy's.
I'm gonna go cricket. Final answer.
And you're going final answer so fast.
Volleyball was the answer.
He's confident in his wrong
Well,
answer.
I have no, like, I have zero.
you had no
Yeah,
clue. Yeah.
Like, I don't even know how to talk that one out. Like the floater,
Floater is the one. The one.
that one makes me think basketball, but I know it's not. The other two didn't go basketball. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We got one left with 2 right. What is the hardest rock?
Is it a diamond? I think it's a diamond. They use that like on drill pieces, right? Or is it? Adamantium's not actually real.
No, it's not.
It's fake. It's
But vibranium is.
vibranium also not real. Titanium is real, but I think diamond's the hardest.
But if you gave it as an answer, we would take it. Because that's the show. This is the kind of show you're on.
Yeah, that's true.
It's an adamantium,
we,
like
we would take it. You know,
That's what
it's made of.
adamantium is a metal.
It's made from unobtainium.
Yeah,
Or no,
unobtainium.
Yeah.
I'm going diamond. That sounds right. Diamond. Final answer.
Ding!
You got 3.
You got 3. You won Barry fake bucks. Way to go.
I would have got the capital of Alaska right. I could have got 4.
Kabuki Kid thought you'd get 6.
Did you? Wow.
I started with 5, but I dropped it to 4.
Hey, Evan.
There's some. Those were hard, man.
They were.
Yeah, there were a few of them.
Hey, Evan.
Next week I'll give you the answers ahead of time.
Well, Forrest, I see you have Tabanasi over there.
What?
I was just talking shit about you playing not so heavy games. Tabanasi's not a light game at all.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, Tabanasi's not a light one at all. I don't know if it's any good though.
Did you guys play Zapotec yet?
I have not played it.
Hey,
Yeah, I haven't played it.
Jeremy.
You have
Jeremy, here's a good question for you.
Are you selling it in the store, Scott?
What
We
is
That's the one I just got. I'm waiting for it.
What is Captain America's shield made out of?
Vibranium,
Yeah.
isn't it?
So that sounds right.
It's kind of right. It is a titanium vibranium alloy that they've never been able to replicate doing it again.
Because it was a prototype, right?
Tony Stark made him
It was
a
just a prototype.
Yeah, so
What's that?
in the comics, unless they retcon this, in the comics, they were trying to come up with new armor for their tanks, and they were making prototypes, and the scientist working hard on the prototypes, like was working like of course 24-hour days, just slaving away, and he fell asleep after he was trying to like combine vibranium and titanium together, and they were of course making them all in these disc shapes because then it was the easiest way to test the armor. They'd shoot it with things and stuff like that. and he fell asleep from sheer exhaustion, and something happened. Like they never explained exactly. Like something happened in the process when he was making it. When he woke up, he had
So
created.
it's like an accidental
Yeah.
discovery of
And
something.
so they were never able to replicate it again.
It was
but
a
of
radioactive
course-
spider bite.
I just remember it was like a prototype. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
It was a prototype. I didn't know the backstory of what that prototype was.
I do remember.
Sounds like a slinky story.
So when Captain America quit and became like just I think he called himself the Guardian, like he wore an all black suit.
Yes.
And he turned in the shield. He said, I can't. He's like, I will still fight for America, but I won't fight for the America that you represent with this flag, and so he turned in his shield because he said that's that is not my shield anymore. And the Black Panther made him a all vibranium shield and gave it to him. So he continued being but he just called himself, I think it was the Guardian. It might have been just the
I
captain.
didn't read this shit. Where?
Yeah.
Maybe he's just an American.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Hey,
They
Evan,
actually-
Evan, he's just a cis white male.
There was actually a moment where like he
He's
was
just a
fighting
white
in
man.
like a cargo plane, and he got knocked out of the cargo plane with no parachute, nothing, right? And so he was sitting there and he was like, how am I going to survive this? And he's skydiving, and he took the vibranium shield and he strapped it to his feet. And so then when he hit the ground, he rolled with it. And it was like, and they explained it away that because vibranium can like absorb the kinetic energy of the fall, they were like, and he came out with basically a mildly sprained ankle from like falling a couple of miles straight down. And the force of it drove the shield deep into the ground, or of course, but he timed it perfectly to roll off the shield just perfectly. And like he even said, if I'd had my normal shield, I would have died. But because vibranium has the ability to absorb all of that impact, like the shield took the brunt of the.
That's not how physics works.
In comics, that's how it works. I mean, it's like jumping right before the elevator
hits the ground. Yeah.
I mean,
are they making any more Black Panther movies?
Yes.
Trust me, they're gonna find a way. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Got to get that
They
money.
already started.
I would
find a way.
I would
Gotta
take
find
it.
a way back to Wakanda, bro.
that one actress who like they like his sister, that they were like, she could be the next Black Panther.
During?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but of course the actress, of course, like had those like 2 or 3 tweets, and she said like incredibly like dumb things, and they then deleted them. It was anti-vax stuff, and
Oh, she's an anti-vaxxer.
No, it was like you'd have to dig it out, because basically it was like tweeted out like 2 or 3 things, and then somebody got a hold of her and was just like, stop it. Just like,
Don't do that.
Take away that
I really
tweeter.
wish people could make mistakes.
Yeah.
I really do. Like, I
Yeah.
really wish misinformation was like, people just make mistakes.
Mhm.
Or, hey, you know what, dude? You're stupid. Like that. Most things in the world could be cured with like, you're bullshitting, dude. You're stupid. Or I can't believe they just said that shit.
Forrest might be the only other
Hey,
person.
man, we've all been wrong from time to time,
Those
It's like,
3 things usually are things that we deal with. Like, man, that dude's bullshit me.
And this woman's young. She's
Come
only
on,
in her
man.
early
I can't believe
20s,
you
right?
believe that shit.
Yeah. So Forrest might be like one of the only people that'll actually know the name, but there's a professional wrestler. His name is Brian Kendrick, and he is a really, really good professional wrestler. And like he's with AEW, but not anymore. And basically like somebody found some old YouTube clip from like 2010 when he was like just getting started, and it was like some interview, and he just went off on all kinds of crazy conspiracy theories that he believed in, just like
birds not being
no,
real.
like 9/11 was an inside job, and
Birds aren't
Give it
real.
to me.
Yeah, and basically like
Those people,
and
I buy drinks for those people all the time. I want to hear it all.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
love it.
Entertain me. I'm ready.
I love
me
it.
up.
he-
I
he-
love it.
And then,
Mhm.
then as soon as that video showed up, like, and it was just like a clip. It was like a 1-minute clip. Somebody dug deeper and found like the full 9-minute clip of them talking to the guy.
Yeah.
And it was all over the place, and a lot of stuff like Holocaust denial. And,
no.
you know, it was just
Oh,
and they were basically like, you know, AEW said he is atrocious. You know, it's like we have pulled him from our on-screen on, you know, it's like he will not be shown on screen, and we will be taking further steps later. And he sent out like 2 or 3 tweets that said something like, I never believed any of those things. I said those things as a joke. I probably shouldn't have said them.
Tough take.
You know, I am sorry for
kidding.
any pain I've caused.
Tough to come back from there, buddy.
Yeah. I really don't want to lose all my money. Please, please.
I also don't want people to apologize. Like, I don't want you to apologize.
You just want to get up and you put
If you
slam
meant it,
slam
if you
the
said
soap
it-
Unless you mean the
the milk
apology.
crate
Yeah.
down in the middle of the
If you said it-
street
if
and
you said
stand
it,
up.
you meant it. Like you said it.
Yeah.
Like when people
I
say
get you.
shit, like when people say shit, or like they say fuck you, or they call you a bitch, I'm like, you meant it.
Mhm.
So this, it's okay. Like I
Yeah.
forgive you now, or I'm over it now. But like,
Right.
no, because you meant it. Like there was something in there that you meant it. So you couldn't hold back. You couldn't control yourself.
Yeah.
You stuck your chest out. You were adamant about whatever it was.
Yeah.
Live with it, man. Like live with it. Be honest. Be truthful. Like say, man, hey, man, I did fuck up. You know, I really did fuck up, and that, you know, I went too far. That's being accountable, man.
Yeah.
But like that other shit, some people just saying shit. I'm like, you call me a bitch, man. You know, you can't just take bitch back. You know what you meant. That was your favorite word in the moment, right? That was your favorite word. that was my name. My name is Jeremy Tyson Howard. You call me a bitch. How about that? You know my name. You
Your middle name's Titan?
know what I'm saying? No, my middle name is Tyson. Yeah.
Oh, Titus.
Oh,
Either way, that's dope. I like it.
I like
Tyson.
Mike Tyson,
Tyson,
like
like
Mike.
Tyson. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's less good. Less good. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
I thought you said Titan. I was like, yeah.
You know what? I'll
That's a
feed my
middle name.
goddamn pigeons, Evan. You hear what I'm saying, man?
You guys see Grant got 130,000 followers on
Yeah.
yeah, good for
on
him.
TikTok.
Wow.
Good for it.
No.
That's so quick too.
Yeah.
It took us like 10 years on YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, YouTube's a lot slower though.
Yeah, I was gonna say those are hard.
Yeah, it's hard to compare.
Yeah.
Is it hard to
seriously,
compare?
no.
Yeah.
You're getting back to content creation. Thank you for circling back. Like if I it is almost impossible. I mean, honestly, right now, if I was gonna dive into trying to make YouTube like videos for board games, I would just do TikTok videos
Mhm.
Do it.
because it would take no, absolutely not.
Why?
He's
'Cause I
not
want
meant
to.
for TikTok.
And I've already got a job that
Lance is
I
made
work
for
50
TikTok. Lance
I've
has
already,
look.
I've already got a job that takes 50, 60 hours a week. You know,
Yeah.
so
Dude,
I don't
Grant
have
said
time.
Grant said his videos take a half an hour. to
That's
make.
great. We're
Yeah.
not talking about Lance.
Yeah.
But you were limited to 3 minutes there, Lance. You can do it.
He
No,
can't
I-
do
Push
that.
yourself, dude.
He
Well,
can't get the beginning
here's
of
the
it
thing-
thought out
Here's
in
the thing
3
about
minutes.
TikTok, though, man.
You
First
think
of all,
about it for a
gotta-
minute, you get us
TikTok,
3
you
minutes
gotta be
out.
creative. You gotta be creative. Two, like it is a low editing thing, so
Yeah.
it's basically you're deciding what type of content you're gonna make, and like it's gotta be good. It can't be shit. Like it can't be. Like Grant is a talented man. He's a
Mhm.
very- like
Oh yeah.
I can't just say put board game content on TikTok. Like that guy's fucking great. Like
Mhm.
it's not about the board game. He shows board game. like he's a smart, talented person though.
Yeah.
And he's funny.
But Lance is
He's all right. He's all right.
Yeah.
Lance has the magnetic personality. I mean, come on. Why would we be
I
here?
just honestly, it's like it's
No,
one of those
because
things.
Lance, the
That's
first
one
thing
way of putting it. Yeah.
Lance is like, it's
3 minutes are up.
First 10 seconds of the chips.
That's the thing, Lance. You just have to say one sentence fully, and you can do the cut thing.
Yes,
Say a
yes,
sentence. Figure your second sentence. It doesn't have to be all in. Don't do a no edit.
Why don't
thing.
you
Don't
do
put
it if it's so easy? They're smarty.
They don't need to hear about Fargo.
I'm not. I don't have that. I don't have the thing.
Soda.
Lance, well, you know what you need to do is do some YouTube shorts. Fuck TikTok.
No, do not do
Oh
YouTube
my
shorts.
God.
Nobody's
Not
watching
do
YouTube
YouTube
shorts.
Nobody's watching YouTube shorts.
Hey,
Uh,
there's some people. There's some.
No, nobody's watching.
Where the
At
reels
least
are
not for
coming-
board games.
Reels are coming from IG, right? On Facebook.
Yeah,
Okay, so that does work. Those work. But
Lance, I want you to make one TikTok and see
Lance, please
No,
make a
I
TikTok.
don't- I have no- I have-
RPG takes from the Undead Viking.
I don't have any interest in doing it. Like I said, I've already.
Oh, I
had
thought you
so much-
did.
No, I have an interest in making content again when I've got time in the house in the morning and the afternoon when nobody
Excuses.
else is here.
Excuses.
Oh my god, I'm not like you, man. I have 2 kids. I
know.
You make shit. You're so keen.
But kids go to school.
Yeah, I know, but my wife is still working.
Oh,
does
Kitty
that
has the
matter?
job.
I mean, you have a basement. Can she hear you?
She like literally, if
It was
she's
over.
working, she is down like 20 feet down that hallway that you can't see it.
Okay.
And there's a door at the end of the hallway, and then it's and it's right there. I mean, like when she's in a meeting, I can hear her talking in her, and I know, and like when I'm in a meeting, they've said, who's talking in the background? I'm like, and that's what the door.
Oh boy.
Oh, we'll just put on headphones, man, and then she won't distract you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No.
Did you get Did you get the Vason game?
the Vason one? Yeah, the
Yeah.
RPG. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
Is it good?
Oh shit.
It's very good.
Oh,
Hey guys.
Can you
I
come
gotta-
up with 3 minutes of a
Have to go
video
to
to
bed.
talk about it?
Oh,
Guys,
yeah,
take
you-
care.
Dude, I would
You
start
hear
an
me?
RPG.
Where are you
TikTok.
going?
I actually do have to go to bed. I fell asleep at work. My boss called me.
Oh,
What were you doing?
Dude, it was so hot in the fucking office. Like I just got real chill. and I
cozy.
was like,
yeah.
What did your boss say?
there was 15 minutes left at work, man. You fucking caught you, whatever, man.
Stop snoring.
Yeah, no. Way back when, I still worked at US Bank, and I was on the overnight team.
Oh god.
Like there were ways, I still remember I would take my chair and I'd wedge it into like one corner where the desk met the side of the cubicle, and then
Yeah.
I could put my feet up, and I could have my keyboard in my lap, and I'd have my headset on, waiting for people to call me up and tell me that their credit card didn't work or something. And I would just close my eyes, and I would be like, 3 o'clock in the morning. And like, you could get like little 10-15 minute naps before you hear the chirp, that dun, 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 like you were getting a phone call, and then you reach up and you hit the button for the connection. And then, but I just remember I'd be like, so all of a sudden, ding, 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 ding. Hey, private services. This is Supervisor Lance Meister. How can I help you today? Yeah. Just my boss would be like, as long as no one ever hears you snore, he's like, you can go
Yeah,
ahead.
you do you. Yeah.
Good night, folks.
Good night.
Good night.
That's nothing. On the trains, the light shift, they used to bring bedrolls into the train. Right, they fold up certain seats, lay out on the floor, sideways across the train. Then the
I had a guy-
supervisor
I had a-
would come
Yeah, go
out
ahead.
and walk across them on the train, and then I would turn around and apologize for disturbing them.
I had a guy that I worked with, who would always sign the early leave list. Like, it's like if it was slow, they'd send you out there. And there was times that I'd sign it so I could get out of there, but I'd also be like, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. If I get to go home early, it's like, what am I doing when I get home? I mean, it's just like, and it's like I've gotten one call in the last like half an hour. they're handing me money for nothing right now. Why am I
Yeah.
trying to sign this early leave list? You know, but he would sign the early leave list because he just was this guy that he just didn't get the idea of like sleep. Like he was just like, oh, when I get home from working my 10-hour shift at the bank, you know, instead of like a normal human being, like I get home at 7 o'clock in the morning, I would have like something to eat. Like I'd have a bowl of cereal and but then I'd crawl into bed and I'd fall asleep. And then I'd wake up at like, you know, whatever. I'd wake up at 4 or 5 o'clock and then I'd do whatever I had to do before I would, you know, drive back and go back to work for the overnight shift again. But like he would be like, oh, he'd stay up until like 3, 4 in the afternoon because there was stuff you wanted to do, like sit around and play Diablo on his computer all day. And then like, oh, I'll just get a little 2-hour nap in and that'll be enough, you know. And you could probably do it for 1, maybe 2 days, but after that third day, your body is like shutting down. You know? But he would sign the leave list and then he'd get done. Like they'd say, yeah, you can go home at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'd be like, Brian, just go home. And he's like, no, I'm just going to sleep here in my cube. I was like, dude, just go home where your bed is, where you have a pillow. Like you're not going to get any good sleep here. But yeah, he would just pass out in his cube. And it'd be like, you know, and come 7 o'clock in the morning, we'd be getting ready to leave. We'd be like, dude, get up. Like the normal people that work here are showing up and they're gonna be looking at you like you're weird.
I used
Wow.
to have a
The
boiler
daywalkers are here.
back when I worked factory. I used to work on this laminator machine. It had a 17-minute cycle, but it took 17 minutes to boot the thing up. But I'd shut it off and then I'd go sleep in the boiler room for like 20, 30 minutes, just get a cat nap. And everybody went in there. I'd just be like, oh, I'm just waiting for that boiler to start back up. And my boss didn't give a shit. Like he caught me back there a couple times. He'd be like, all right, get back to it. Like life had pretty much sucked his soul out. That job had sucked the soul out of that guy's life too. Like it was, man, I'm so glad I don't work in a factory anymore. That was the worst job ever.
every time
The reason unions were invented, man.
Yes.
Every time I ever heard about anybody, like I've had a few people who have been just like, oh yeah, you know, I got this job offer. I can go work at this box factory. And I'm just like, you really want to go work at a box factory? Yeah, it's like you get 4 days on, 4 days off, 10-hour shifts.
yeah.
And, you know, it's just like, yeah, it's like they're paying like, you know, $19.50 an hour. I'm like, you're going to work at a box factory. That doesn't sound fun at all. And
for a while, I used to
then they
work
worked there for a week and a half.
Yeah.
They worked there for a week and a half. They're like, that job sucked.
Making boxes sucks.
It is the most. I've actually worked at a gift card making factory and a box making factory. They also made boxes and plastic bowls for like, you know, salads you get at Wendy's and stuff. It is just every day the exact same thing, and it's just 8 to 12 hours over and over. Just suck your soul out one day at a time. No one there gives a fuck, and the few people who do are the ones who get promoted, and they're just, it's just, I couldn't imagine doing it for a living just because it's just, you'd have to be a certain kind of person, just the monotony of it. Nothing.
You have to like have good chats with yourself in your head while you're working, you know, like really be thinking about stuff.
Oh yeah, a lot of that.
I have the there's as long as there's something like going on, like as far as like a TV is on or I'm listening to a podcast in my ears, it can't just be white noise. I can't just turn on a fan, right? And then that'll be enough. But like if I'm in a room where I'm tired and there's like a TV on, or if I'm like, you know, like I said, like I go to sleep and I usually put my earbuds in and I listen to like a wrestling podcast or something. I can fall asleep. It's just like, it's like I just, you know, I hear all these stories about people, yeah, I just tossed and turned for hours. I just couldn't fall asleep. I'm like, the only thing that prevents me is that if I don't have something for my brain to listen to, it can't turn off. It's so weird. It's like, and I can't fall asleep. But I mean, if I have something to listen to, it's like my secret power. It's like, you know, I tell you know, it's like Oh, do you have any trouble falling asleep? Nope. I'm gonna put my head on that pillow right there, and I'm gonna be listening to this. Oh, just like, and I'm gone. I'm gone. The only problem is if I wake up in the middle of the night and like the stuff isn't going, like, you know, when my wife and I first started dating, like I would always just fall asleep. Like I had all of the like I had like all kinds of Adult Swim cartoons, like Aqua Teen Hunger Force, stuff like that, that like I downloaded, and they would just play on a loop on my computer, and I would just fall asleep listening to that. And like if I woke up in the middle of the night, it would still be going because it was on a loop. And like, but she couldn't fall asleep. That drove her crazy. She couldn't fall asleep watching TV. She has to have like a fan going. So I just have headphones now. But yeah, I don't know. Otherwise, I start thinking. Like if I wake up, I'll like start thinking about all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, what kind of things do I got to take care of? What do I got to take care of around the house? What kind of work do I have to do tomorrow? And all of a sudden I start thinking about all that stuff so much that I can't fall asleep because like I'm waking up, you know, like, and you start waking up and you realize that like, no, you got all that stuff going on. But as long as I got something like just I can just gap out on, like listen to somebody talk about some Randy Macho Man Savage wrestling match against, you know, the Honky Tonk Man, you know, in 1987, you know, I can just
Greatest intercontinental champion of all time.
Which who?
Honky Tonk Man.
No, Macho Man is, man. Macho Man held that for over a year and lost it finally to Ricky the Steamboat in the greatest match of all time at WrestleMania 3. You go and watch. It is the Ricky the Steamboat versus Randy Macho Man Savage. Super, you know, oh man. Maybe the greatest WrestleMania ever, because that also had the Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant match.
Oh, I couldn't hear you over this this website that says the Honky Tonk Man held the Intercontinental title for the longest reign ever at 454 days.
He did, but the guy couldn't wrestle worth a damn.
But he hit motherfuckers with a guitar. What more?
Yeah, like a real guitar, and actually, like he nearly killed Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yeah, he's got like brain problems. Yeah, I heard like that wasn't his fault though. That was somebody who gave him the wrong guitar.
No. That
wasn't on him. It's like,
oh really? You don't think you can tell the difference between a fake guitar and a real one if somebody hands it to you?
I don't know, man. I'm not the Honky Tonk Man.
I mean, I'm sorry for all the wrestling content here, but one of the greatest things ever was when during Piper's Pit, where Roddy Piper was interviewing why can't I think of his name here? Jimmy Snuka, and he was talking about Piper's Pit, and they were having a feud, and so they were sitting there and then the whole thing was Piper's Pit was supposed to jump Jimmy Snuka and beat him up, you know, and so like the thing was, and so like they were talking about it, and he had like this bowl of fruit and like coconuts and these things. And so that he started grabbing these bananas and shoving them in Jimmy Snuka's face. He was on the ground, have a banana, Mystery Island Man, you know, and he's sitting there going like this and he's going crazy. And then he said he grabbed a coconut and he said, but he goes, and I was so fired up. He's like, we didn't gimmick the coconut. It was a real freaking coconut. And I broke it open over Jimmy Snuka's head.
God.
And then he said, and then I looked at Jimmy. He said, I looked at Jimmy and he had murder in his eyes. He said, and I realized that if I let him up, I was going to die. So I just jumped on his back with both of my knees and just started pounding him for real. Just, yeah. Back when wrestling was, well, not real, but way more scary than it is now. I can't imagine somebody breaking a real coconut over your head. It would just hurt so much.
Yeah, didn't die.
Yeah.
Crack his skull.
All right.
Yeah, there you go. You know what? I'll say this. You know, wrestling is just like anything else. If you're a fan of it, you are, and it is. There's a pageantry. There's a pageantry to it, and I'll leave it at that. And they have yet to make a really good board game about professional wrestling.
For wrestling.
Yeah.
how was that? Didn't Gale Force 9 make one?
They did, but it was garbage.
Oh,
Was it?
really? That's too
Yeah.
bad.
Really, they usually make pretty good games.
They usually do.
Yeah.
Like Sons of Anarchy, that was a really good worker placement game about
Yeah, it was.
all things considered.
I still
mean,
like Spartacus.
Spartacus is really
Spartacus
good.
was good.
Yeah,
man.
Spartacus.
You got to forgive the combat, but it was a good game.
Yep. Yeah.
It's
The
just a
combat
beer
really
and
didn't
pretzels
matter.
game.
The combat was
Yeah.
just like, it was the game was about screwing people over and making deals and not holding true to them and stuff like that. So
If I remember,
Yeah.
I played that Homeland game. That was a decent game, if I remember. Right.
that was also a very good game by them.
That
Yeah.
one.
As far as secret roles and
I only
stuff.
played it once though, I think.
Plus, you can find it at Ollie's for like $8. Like I see that at Ollie's every time I go there. That thing
Do
does
you?
not ever. They have like 6 copies that are never gonna get purchased ever.
Mm.
I love
It-
Ollie's.
You love what?
Ollie's, man. It's a discount. It's a discount store we got near me, and it's just they have the weirdest stuff.
Okay. Like a wedding dress?
I
I've
mean,
been to a store that has them. I'm not lying.
yeah, I mean, if you go there at the right time, they buy a liquidation of them.
No, I mean this is the news. I was it was on South Carolina, North Carolina, right off at 95. You can go in there, you can buy a wedding dress, Christmas decorations, pots and pans, cigarettes.
Yeah, man.
It was
Everything you might
awesome.
need.
Everything you would need in life. I can't remember the name of this place though. I stopped just because I seen so many signs coming up 95 from Florida. I had to figure out what this was.
What'd you buy?
I bought some smokes while I was there. I don't. Jen probably bought an ornament, Christmas ornament. She gets into them. Trying to remember. Amanda may have been with us. I don't remember. I've
Neither
taken
do
a
I,
ride a
since
few
I wasn't there.
times. Yeah, I've taken a ride to Florida quite a few times. I get the trips mixed up. Except for when I almost whacked a deer. Amanda was in the car. I remember that because she said, "Did you hit the skunk?"
The skunk?
They were in a dead sleep, her and Jen, and this deer is like, I was doing 70 and I seen it, but I wasn't sure. So I slowed down to about 55 when it jumped out, and I missed it I couldn't see its head anymore under my hood. All right. I missed it. Was that close, but they were out cold. Jen woke up as soon as I said, "Oh, fuck," and started hitting the brake. But Amanda was out until it was almost over, and she thought it was a skunk.
Holy crap! Sorry to interrupt you, but this is when you don't check like recent Puzzle Strike came back with Puzzle Strike 2. I thought David Serlin vanished.
Yeah, that Kickstarter
No,
was that was a, and he that Kickstarter was an interesting one, and then apparently he was throwing a little shade at me. He didn't like my Kickstarter critique of it.
Oh, yeah.
But it's such a weird Kickstarter. It's got like this wand that like lights up, and it's odd. I mean, it looks like a fun game though, but Kickstarter page was a little weird.
He had that game called Yomi that was like that, and then he got into trouble because he tried to make a game that basically like stole like the mechanics from something else. There was like a huge thread way back in the day. Then now I can't remember it, of course. But yeah, and then I mean like I literally like I hadn't heard anything from David Serlin in probably like forever and a day. He had that game Codex, which was kind of cool.
Codex was
It was like
good.
a Magic Gathering kind of thing.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, boom, Puzzle Strike 2, an asymmetric deck builder for 1 to 4 players. And I remember Puzzle Strike was
It was like one of the first deck builders posts. Dominion.
It was a deck builder that was you use chips in a bag. And you
Yeah, it
drew
was
the
a chip
chips out of the
bag builder.
It was a bag builder.
Right.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Got some play
Overall,
around
I'm
here.
very, very impressed by Puzzle Strike 2. The puzzly nature of it, the really satisfying card play and deck building, and the great production. Both Jen and I were surprised how much we enjoyed Puzzle Strike 2.
Oh, nice review
Rado?
here.
That was a Rado, yeah.
Hmm.
What's in the box? $70 base set comes with 123 custom molded gem shapes. You get 4 trays. You get a scepter. It lights up.
Does.
What's the scepter for?
Oh, I have no idea.
I want to light up scepter. That
lights
sounds
up.
great.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean, well, good for these guys. I mean, David's alive. I mean, there was a while there, like, yeah, I mean, I exchanged a few emails with him back in the day. Yeah, well, there you go. I wouldn't even know this was a thing until now. Interesting. He had that one game called Pandante that was like that panda with poker chips and bluffing
yeah.
and stuff.
Dante.
I just remember like the game weighed 1,000 pounds because it had like, you know, it had like 200 poker chips in it.
Yeah, it was heavy duty poker chips for sure.
Yeah, that was weird stuff. I don't know. Shadow. Somebody just asked this is an RPG question. Have you guys played Shadow of the Demon Lord? I have, and it's a pretty. It's actually now it's probably outdated. It's a role playing game setting. It's probably outdated because it came out when it was when Pathfinder 1 and D&D 3.5 were a thing.
Yeah.
So 5th edition wasn't out yet, and 4th edition may have been out, but so the rule set is a little old. The theme of it is really cool. Like basically everybody, you live in a world where the demon lord is like basically scraping away at the walls between his demon world and the real world, and it's like literally there's nothing you can do to stop it. Eventually at some point the wall will break and the flow of demons from the abyss will come and destroy everything. So you're like it's very, very much like a Jack Vance Tales of the Dying Earth type of situation where there's an incessant feel of dread and despair and a fatalistic approach to what's going on. So and the system has a lot of cool rules for insanity and corruption and things like that that are really fun. And the setting's pretty neat. Whether or not your gaming group are gonna want to dive into that, I have no idea, but it's a good system. It's fun. It's good stuff. So thanks for the question, Berserk. I did that video a million years ago. I remember somebody said, "Hey, I saw this." One of my coworkers were like, "Yeah, I looked up. I was like, I finally wanted to play Mythic Pantheons. I looked for videos. I found your old video of it, and I looked at my old video. I was like, oh, I look so young. Look at me." Like, did you see that? Scott did another video.
Nicholson?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did a video for the World of Warcraft pandemic game.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then he was on there and I was like, oh my gosh, he's gone completely white. I mean, like his beard and his hair. He is
He's in his 70s, ain't he?
no, he's not in his 70s. He's like I think he's what, 8, like he's
Oh, I'm sorry, his partner is. Isn't he older?
Yeah, no, his partner is
His partner.
his
I'm sorry.
husband. You can
His
say, 'cause
husband.
they did get married. They live in Canada where it's legal. Well, it's legal now in most of the United States, but
Yeah.
no, he's what, 57? I'm not trying to trail off, but I think that's my rough guesstimate. He's
Okay,
he's just a little chunk of change older than me. So I recently got an email. I don't know how they found me, but in my area,
FBI.
yeah, probably. In my
It finally happened.
in my
Yes.
area, I got an email from somebody that was like, "Welcome to 50 years old. We'd like you to join our 50 and above board game group." And I was like,
Okay.
what? And I was like, what is this? And I was
No.
looking at this. And then I was
Swingers
like, what are you gonna
Yeah, right.
get together and
Board
you know,
games.
play Risk, you know, or something? And but
Yeah.
no, they were like they there was like they showed
How did
like,
they
the-
track you down?
it was a friend of a friend like kind of thing where you get invited. It's like
Huh.
it's like a little thing.
How'd they know you turned 50?
Because
He's a
one of
friend
my
of a friend.
friends who was
No.
over 50.
So it's through a friend.
Yeah, one of his friends who was over 50, like has my email address, and then submitted it for approval, and then when they send me an email, they get together. They have 2 little mini conventions. They hold them at a local university over a weekend. They hold 2 of them a year, and they asked me, it's like, if we had one on these May dates, would you be able to attend? You know, and it's just like it's basically 2 days of playing board games with people over 50.
All right.
I was just like, whatever, you geezers. I'm hanging out with you.
But you are a geezer.
I definitely don't feel 50.
No, I don't feel.
Neither
50.
do I, Scott. I feel 80.
Nah.
Yeah,
God, I had a question I was going to ask.
I shouldn't feel 50 because I'm
Uh,
51.
Are you?
I am. Turned 51 this year. January.
I thought it was 50 for some reason. Lance was
What's that?
50.
why can't
Lance was 50. I get the
I'm
two.
like as old as my stepfather when my mother met him.
That kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're like, oh.
Yeah, but that
it
generation
sucks.
was a different 50. You know,
Well,
Yeah,
that's
he was
like one of
World War
those
II.
things where it's
it
like,
was a much harsher, like, yeah, it's a different. They
Times
look,
were different then.
they look like what we consider our 70s now. You know, it was just.
well,
Yeah.
those are
The
those weird,
eggs were
those
thick.
those weird things where it's like, you know, we're close, like it's like so and such is closer to like
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the time of Cleopatra that such and such is time, you know, so it's like you get a modulation of the time that you're dealing
Yeah.
with that like
Yeah.
kind of throws you off a little bit.
Any of you guys going to Dice Tower West?
No.
No Dice Tower West.
No days.
When is that on?
I went to it when it was called MeepleCon.
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 Still the same. It's MeepleCon, but
MeepleCon OGs represent.
change the name. We might go to Gen Con this year. We were talking
Oh,
about it.
really?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
the Hot Games Room is a thing. I don't know if I didn't know you when we started that. So, Hot Games Room might be on this year.
Yeah.
We're checking in. We're checking in.
At the Gen Con?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, no. I skip almost every Gen Con.
Oh.
I don't think I'll be
And
going
we're all better for it.
Okay.
unless I'm going to delegate all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe you
And,
should go and just have a good time.
I wouldn't feel right.
Yeah, that's fair. Or you wouldn't be able to because they know you're there.
Honestly, the team that ran the Hot Games Room in the previous years, I never had to do anything. They
Oh, that's great.
fully self-sufficient, did everything.
That's great.
The booth in the hall, that's a different story.
Yeah. You're not doing the booth, right? Just
I don't think so. No, we're not
just the
going
hot games room. Yeah.
It's so much work to do the booth, man. And
I
it's
can
so
only
hot
imagine. Yeah.
and just miserable. I just hate it. And I hate being in the booth. I feel awkward. I'm not a salesperson. I'm not a salesman.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Yeah.
Hey, do you
I
want stuff?
remember
We've got
one year at
stuff.
Gen Con when we got the puzzles. You know those puzzles things that we have from Freedom of Frieza? Remember those little postcard
I
games?
Oh, yeah, I remember those.
The folder. Oh,
So I sat in this where I was doing the live stream, right? But you know, during the live stream, there's a lot of things. Just let the camera run, and people would come by and ask about the product. And I gave the pitch. I want to say probably like 50 to 60 times during the Gen Con. You know how many I
Yeah.
sold?
nada.
Two.
Nada.
Oh.
Not a single one.
I bet
Big.
Lincoln.
Just like,
came
oh,
in.
that's neat, and they put it back down. Lincoln did one pitch.
It was
sold.
Lincoln.
Yeah.
Sold.
Some people are
I'm
just
like,
better at that stuff, man.
how
I need to
is-
hire Lincoln to do my pitch, my publisher pitches.
Yeah.
I'm so bad at that stuff. Any kind of sales. I'm like, it's a thing. I think it's good. You should try it.
Scott is younger than me, according to Kabuki Kid.
Oh, hey, if anybody's listening to this, I got a former coworker of mine that works for TMG. who
Not like I
now-
said anything.
I didn't hear
No,
you, Scott.
That's fine.
No, go ahead, say something.
Who was younger than what? That's I missed it.
Wookie Kid says Scott Nichols is younger than me.
Well, there you go.
So
but he,
he's
but he,
50?
he looks
Not
it.
70.
He,
He's 50. He's 50.
It's
So 1 year younger.
So, former coworker of mine at TMG reached out to me and asked me if I knew anybody who would be willing to work for a Chinese publisher who is trying like basically get like other companies to license their games, like so print a US version of it, that kind of thing. And it's like a 10-hour a week. So if anybody thinks they'd love to do that, and I'm not saying that's not the thing.
What do they have to
put you
do?
in touch with
Do
basically.
they have to speak Chinese?
No, I don't think so, because they're just like somebody who's willing to spend 10 hours a week trying to convince US board game publishers to publish games
Chinese games
that are published by this Chinese publishing.
That is not my specialty.
And I was like, I said, I hope you're not asking me if I want to do this, because that's I wouldn't want to do that if you I can't imagine a single moment of me wanting to do that at all.
Me pitching games.
That's a tough job.
You know who actually might be good at that is Jay Bell.
Tell Jay Bell if you want to.
He's a really good. He's a good like. When I've seen some of his pitches that were posted online, I was like, dang man, like I want to buy your game right now. He's good. He's good at pitching. And he just got a job doing file prep for Panda, I think. I don't know if that's a full-time job or if it's part-time.
Yeah, probably full.
So he already has the China connection, so maybe that'd be a good fit for him. I don't know.
Yeah,
Shoot him.
I'll say this. I'll say this. It's like whenever I had to talk to them and discuss things with them and get things done when I was with TMG, this Taiwan-based board game company, they were very nice, and the people were very nice. And so, but I wouldn't want to work with them. I wouldn't want to do that job ever. I'd rather. I'm sure there's like a glass bottle you'd want me to chew up. I do before.
I would rather lance my eyes with steaming hot skewers.
Just like you've seen those videos where the guy eats the wine glass. Look, I'm eating the glass and it doesn't hurt me at all. I do that. I'd see if I could pull that off.
No, it was sugar that they were eating. This is glass.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not good.
Not good.
This is bad, people.
Yeah, no, thank you. No, if you put me in a booth and I need to talk to you and I need to tell you why this game is cool and convince you to purchase the game, I can pull that off. Now if I have to do the same pitch for the same game for 8 hours and saying the same thing to like the same person over and over again, it's like I will, I'll eventually want to die, but like it's one of those things where it's like, because I always have the same approach too. It's like I'm just like, if you got questions about these games, happy to answer anything you got. But like I'm not gonna be like used car salesman.
Rule book's in the box. Check it out. Let me know if you have any questions.
Yeah, what's it gonna take for me to send you home with this game here?
Let me go talk to my manager and see if I can get you 4% off.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
I used to have a guy who was a car salesman. I think I've told stories about him on the show before, but I mean, like he said it was like it was the worst job ever. He said I had days where I made $18,000 in a single day.
Right.
And I never wanted more to put a revolver in my mouth, like more than that job. He said it was just the infighting and the scamming between your coworkers, like people like, just jumping on the people that you worked with and then like lying about how like, I got them like 95% of the way there. You owe me part of that commission, and just like, just the sniping. And plus he said it was just like, the thing is, he said, when somebody, this is not big news to anybody that's ever thought about this. It's like, if you have, whatever this, Jeep Grand Cherokee or whatever that like you're trying to sell for 25 grand, and like you're saying, okay, well, if I sell it for 25, that means my commission is, you know, $3,000.
Yeah.
So he's like the amount of time that you talk to the person trying to convince them to buy that, you're already like figuring in, is it worth it now for me to throw $500 away from selling this right now? You know, just basically like, you know, at this point, I've almost got the guy, you know, he's going to buy this car. Am I willing to take $2,000 now? Just so he'll buy it and I can move on to somebody else, you know?
Yeah.
And then it's like, and then at a certain point, it's like, this car has been sitting on the lot now for how long? You know, it's like, if I can just, you know, if we can somehow get rid of it and I can get $800 at this point. Yeah, right. That's what it comes down to, you know. And it's just like, and he said all the little tactics where you'd send another guy in there and like that guy would say that he was like that other person's like boss or supervisor or whatever, and it's just like, hey, you know, it's like he had to go do something else, so maybe, you know, it's like, let's just talk about this for a little. What's gonna, you know, how can we make this, you know, work for us? You know, it's like, you know, it's
I've
like
never negotiated for a car.
Yeah, you just walk in, you flop on the price.
No, I don't think so.
I
think they just tell me a price and it seemed right.
Yeah.
I look at Consumer Reports and be like, I know how much this costs. So I can't remember the last time I bought a car.
Yeah.
It was the Miata. It was 2000.
Mr. Moneybag
5
as his private chauffeur.
Right. I don't even drive anymore.
I'm trying to think.
Oh, I just hate it though. It's like the worst.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same way. Yeah, when I bought the Escape.
Like, there are companies out there that don't negotiate. Like there's
probably.
I think
there's some car sellers that just basically say this is the price, this is it.
Yeah. Anytime I go to a lot, like the very few times, I'm always like, don't talk to me. I will look around. I will figure out what I want, and then I will come let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
There, Forrest.
Good night, Forrest.
Trying to talk Michelle into getting a Tesla.
Oh yeah, dude,
she's not sold.
No.
I wouldn't be either.
Well,
the guy's down there in
cool.
Texas where the
guy's an
electric goes out.
insano. I mean, you're
a little bit.
You're supporting a company that.
What?
I mean, well, he's a nutball.
Well, you kind of have to be.
I want the gadgets though. I want all
yeah.
That's how they get you. They just,
that's
you know, it's
how
like,
they get you.
Exactly. I mean,
no, I mean that's everything. It's just like, oh,
in Dallas,
you
you can do a what do they call it? A contactless test drive. So basically, you sign up for it, and then it'll open the door. Like you enter a code in your phone when you get to the car, and it'll open the door and let you start the car.
That's awesome.
And you can drive it yourself for like, you get an hour or whatever it is, 30, 40 something minutes, and then you drive back and let it go, and then buy it or not.
And then if you go for over an hour, it pulls over and closes the door.
It shuts down and sends the cops out.
And says you have 30 seconds to comply.
How much more awful would he have to be before you would choose to not purchase the car because you don't want to?
The whole like you can't consume.
I respect him. He's changed the world, man.
Maybe, but I mean, what if you found out like he changed the world by using the blood of babies? Would you be like, well,
if you think
would you be like, well, he did change the world? I mean,
then I got something to tell you, man.
Yeah. I don't know any car company
all these
that's
corporations
like
are all
the best. You know? Yeah, I don't know.
We're already moving backwards. It's like, well, I mean, you know, we're already like saying, well, I mean, all corporations are bad. You know, I mean,
maybe not. But
you can't really stop it. You know, I mean, just like so a few babies have to give up their blood. I've got a really cool car.
Well, the thing is, if you don't,
Tesla's more than just Elon Musk. I mean, there's a lot of smart people working there.
If you don't want to engage with the horrible parts of our culture, you literally have to move to a mountaintop and live in a cave. So at a certain point,
my dad does, but he's got to deal with his neighbors who raise chickens and park broken cars right on the edge of his lot just to piss him off.
Really?
Like he's literally in a feud with the neighbor.
He's got a musket.
Well, no, I mean it's
I
like
feel in a
it's
couple weeks.
it's
I'll
I've
He
gone
knows that the
off-
cars bother him, so they know the cars bother him. So
Yeah.
they park him right on the edge of the lot,
Oh my gosh.
so he has to drive by every day and see it,
Just to be a dick.
just to be a dick.
So
Broken down car.
I've definitely gone off on this before, but I mean it's like I always love when we are willing to. It depends upon how popular what it is that they create
Yeah.
is it like determines
The art versus
determines
the artist.
determines what we'll put up with, you know, like what level of whatever that we'll put up with from what it is they create, right? So Elon Musk, you know, it's like has some definitely like questionable business things going on and things like that, and definitely like
what?
Just I'm not going to go into.
Are you swayed by the lamestream media? What else is
Mainstream media?
You believe everything you read about Elon Musk?
Well, my point is that it's like so, but he makes a cool car, so you know it's just like you know.
Yeah,
remember when
I'll buy the car because I think it's a cool car.
Remember when Forrest had the idea that he was? I'm sorry, but it's like
Yeah, he was going to buy a Tesla and let it.
I'm going to get a
run
Tesla.
itself.
And then he was gonna rent it out. He wouldn't have to drive it for Uber. He would rent the car. He was gonna Uber it.
Uber a $50,000 car.
He was gonna Uber it.
Great
and
idea.
It would Uber by itself. I would just be like, what are you gonna do? Just you know, like Forrest, you're not thinking this through.
It never came home again. It was weird.
No, I mean, I feel bad. I feel bad because he isn't here to defend himself. But every single one of his crackpot plans always boils down to how can I make money with no effort. It's like,
I mean, that's the drive, right?
Right.
no, I mean, and that's fine. And that's fine.
Like, who doesn't want to do that?
God bless him. I love the man. I love the man to death. I would jump into traffic for him. You know, so I mean, but he does just drive me absolutely batty sometimes.
It's
But
fun.
anyway, what?
It's fun to listen to.
You know, it is fun to listen to.
Mhm. I like it.
But no. So I mean, no, it's just like everything else. It's just like I mean, if J.K. Rowling has just said some absolutely horrible stuff.
Yeah.
But the monolith that is the popularity of Harry Potter cannot be sunk by these howitzer shells she's shooting at it. It's people are just like, we'll just pretend that didn't happen because it's Harry Potter world, everybody.
It's one of those things, man, where it's like, you know, if you choose to live in a culture where the type of person who becomes insanely famous and or wealthy is not going to be the type of person who's like a great person typically, right?
Yeah.
Maybe there's some exceptions, but typically any product that is made by a large corporation, the person who was in charge of making that product,
His wife is
creating it,
great. Yeah,
probably horrible, probably. And yet we buy products every day and we consume products every day. If you look at any single product, the person who's making the most money from you buying that product is probably a horrendous individual. But we still buy diapers, we still buy clothes and pharmaceuticals.
If you really knew everything about everything you buy, yes, you would be horrified.
To a certain point, you decide, okay, this is the culture I live in, and I wish to partake. I don't know.
That's true.
It's a good question though. Like,
Well, he said.
should we not, you know, could we not band together tomorrow and be like, hey, maybe we should support other things. I don't know. Who knows?
I read.
You guys watch Billions? Anyone?
Yes.
Mhm.
Billions. Are you up to date?
Yeah.
That's exactly the plot of the previous episode.
They didn't consult me.
It's a company that's making, what is it? Sporting goods in concentration camps in China.
Yeah. Those basically company cities. You know, like you can't escape it because
Yeah, this conversation seems out from a guy working on the board game industry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean,
believe me.
you want to know your company has problems. You have suicide nets outside the windows of your factories, so people can't heave themselves to their death.
Yeah, it was
Just,
Yeah, I'm not saying our
happy with the
culture is
latest Billions?
perfect.
What's that?
I was just wondering if Lance was happy with the latest Billions. I mean, like where it's gone.
I mean, it's definitely not as good as it was.
It's a good
No.
show. It's a good show. 6 seasons.
Alien. Show.
It's definitely diverted from its original
Yeah, totally.
thing, but it's pretty
I've never
interesting.
even heard of this.
Oh, it's Paul Giamatti.
I love Paul Giamatti.
And he's almost unrecognizable right now.
Really?
He lost a lot of weight and he shaved his beard.
All right.
The Scottish guy. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
Who was the other guy with him?
He's got a good.
He,
He's got a
he
good
played
beard.
in Band of Brothers and
Yeah.
Homeland and what the hell's the guy's
Homeland,
name?
yeah. I'll find it.
Ian.
Damian Lewis,
No,
Toby.
it's not Ian.
Melon, David,
Damian Lewis.
Damian Lewis. Yeah.
Damian
Yeah.
Lewis.
Who's he married to? I know he's married to someone.
Oh. Spouse Helen McCrory. Ooh, died last
Right.
year.
And she died.
Yeah.
Is she? I
Yeah.
don't know who that is. Well, if I seen a picture, maybe. I don't. I'm bad
Louis
with-
Anderson passed away, and I didn't even know.
Who?
Louis Anderson.
Oh, Louis Anderson. I
Oh.
saw that.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
And it was like one of those things where it's like, okay, well, he's always said he weighs like 450 pounds, right? In
Yeah.
the 60s. So, okay, well, heart failure. No, he died of cancer. Like
Mhm.
Wow.
he kept it secret, much
Huh.
like Norm Macdonald.
Norm,
Just
yeah.
didn't share with anybody. And
Yeah.
You know, when
Bowie.
I went back
Bowie,
and started
too.
watching Tom Green show
Oh yeah.
on YouTube.
My bum is on
bunch
the
of them.
rail. My bum is on the rail.
My bum is.
Oh
I like
my
Tom
God.
Green.
My bum is on the rail. That guy was so wacky.
The show was pretty good.
Yeah.
He had,
did-
Tom,
he
he had-
was-
he had Norm on
Yeah.
in the episodes.
He was like kind of one of those shock comedians, but he was doing something so different
Yeah.
and so kind of
Yeah.
fresh.
Did you ever watch the MTV show?
That was later, right? Or was it earlier?
That's where I first heard of him.
Yeah, that's
I
where
watched
was-
the early
He was
stuff.
on Access, cable access. So
I
it's
think.
Yeah,
Yeah, I watched his early
Um,
stuff.
the public channel in Canada.
in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where
And then
he
um
started.
then he went and they put him on MTV and that's where I found him.
I think that's what I
Yeah.
saw. Like
But
he
he-
was like interviewing people with poop on his
I don't know.
microphone. and stuff.
I just remember when I remember just like I crack up still thinking about it is when he I don't know, it's a bit raunchy, but he did a paint job on his dad's car. Do you guys remember that?
Oh,
And it was totally dirty,
No, I don't
like-
remember.
it's awesome though.
not X-rated, but like R-rated,
Yeah,
X-rated,
yeah.
an X-rated shot on the hood of the car with a name to go with it. Let's call it that.
Okay.
Oh,
He did it in the night before his dad went to work, and his dad comes out and like he looks at it, and he just like his dad is like so straight laced, and he's just like shaking his head, and he
Yeah.
goes, "I'm gonna walk to work," and so Tom gets in the car and follows him to the bus stop and pulls the car right up to the crowd of people on the bus stop. It's like, I mean, it's so bad they have to censor the photo or the paint job. Anyway, it's funny.
it's awesome.
That's why I remember Tom Green.
Yeah.
And he was in Charlie's Angels, and he got married to Drew Barrymore, and they divorced in 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
And they didn't talk to
Yeah.
each other for 20 years, and they just
Oh.
recently talked to each other like
Wow,
last year. Yeah,
Wow.
that must have been some conversation.
They filmed it.
Oh,
Drew
did they?
Barrymore has a show now, and he was on it.
Wow.
That was their first conversation back.
It must be. They were young, right? They were in their 20s, right? 30s.
She's in 2000, so I'm guessing 20s.
It must
Yeah,
be
man.
odd
She was
growing
born
up
in-
with that much fame.
She's
that
got to be
young.
what, 50 now?
I think she's
that right?
made as me.
I don't know. I'm going to assume, yeah, early 50s.
EGG is giving me alerts.
But that must.
She's
be odd.
46. She was born in
46.
1975.
Gosh,
75. Okay.
but that must be.
He was
so
50
odd,
something.
Yeah.
you know, growing up in the public like that.
Oh yeah, she was a mess.
Yeah.
Yes.
She was drinking at 12 or
drugs
something,
and
and
all that, yeah.
drugs and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Look at River Phoenix, same thing.
Yeah.
She's lucky she made it out.
Yeah,
Mhm.
a lot of them are. The girl played on the Facts Life, or not Facts
She-
Life.
I
Hootie?
think she divorced her parents, if I recall correctly. What else did she do? I followed her for a while. I like Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, me too. Ever since I saw Firestarter, I've kind of followed.
Oh, Firestarter was awesome.
Yeah, it was. It was freaky, man.
E.T. She was an E.T.
Well, NET, yeah.
I liked The Wedding Singer quite a lot.
The Wedding Singer was great. She's
Yeah,
been in
it was
so many just like feel good, fun, enjoyable, like good memories.
Charlie's Angels was awesome. I loved it.
The
Yeah.
first one, yeah.
Yeah, the first one. I don't know if I've seen the second.
50 First Dates was good. Like she's in so many good
Yeah.
movies, man.
Yep. There's a new Firestarter coming, says Kabuki.
A new
Is there?
Firestarter? No
Yeah.
way.
Do you guys not
Yeah,
to
they
be
remake all that
salacious?
shit, man.
But do you remember when Drew Barrymore, like she was in her early 20s, she was on the David Letterman show and it was David's birthday.
I do remember
And
this.
she
Yes.
jumped on top of the
She
desk
flashed
and
him.
flashed
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, I remember that. I think I saw that
On
episode.
TV. Oh, yeah.
Yes. Because I used to watch David Letterman like every night.
Yeah,
Oh, he
me
was
too.
great.
Because when you live in the
Yeah.
central time zone, it's on at 11:30. Not 12:30.
I wouldn't know
Man.
that.
David Letterman. I never like when you're a kid, you don't notice stuff. But I saw like some YouTube like best hits of him being like super creepy. He
Mm.
was creepy.
The Letterman?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes
he got
goes-
blackmailed. Do you remember that?
No.
He got blackmailed.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, he went to the FBI and got the guy caught.
Oh wow.
But he had to come out with his dirty laundry.
Right.
Mhm.
He was basically
Wow.
having an affair with a coworker.
Right.
Uh,
And had to be like, yep, this is what's happening.
Now he made it really funny.
Sure.
Like the whole, if you go watch go watch it on YouTube. It's a clip. It's pretty. I mean, everybody's just laughing, but it's like a
Right.
kind of serious thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't see that.
He would have definitely been fired today if that happened now,
Mhm.
Yes.
Mm.
right? Like CBS or
Yes.
NBC or CBS
Yeah.
would have fired him.
Yeah. Or if you just
Yeah,
like
Letterman.
if you look at like the
The
Yeah.
whole like cheating,
Yeah.
sleeping with my interns.
Yeah.
have you guys seen the morning show?
On
Hmm.
Apple?
It's on it might be on Apple. Anyway, it's really good. It's got like Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, is that what
Yeah.
Jennifer? Yeah, no. I haven't
Yeah,
seen-
yeah. My wife
And,
started
Reese Witherspoon. It's actually like really good. And it features somebody who anyway.
okay.
There's some plots in there like that.
If you didn't watch it, it took a little bit to get into exactly what was going on. But when Craig Ferguson had his late night show, that was really good.
Yeah, his show was good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Craig Ferguson was
I didn't watch it like all the time, but every time I caught it, it was always.
Yeah.
Oh, and because he'd have one guest on, and he did his own thing. His cold opens were always great when he would
Yeah.
he'd have those weird music video cold opens and stuff like that. And yeah, it was
he was funny, man.
he's flat out hilarious.
Yeah.
And
his robot Jeff.
Yeah, Robot Jeff was awesome. But that guy, the guy that played Robot Jeff, he's like one of those people who does all the voices, and he would he also did the Morgan Freeman impersonation.
Yeah.
Where it would be like, and then like Morgan Freeman narrates what's going on in Craig's head, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like Morgan Freeman, but not really Morgan Freeman. Say
Yeah.
that, but not really Morgan Freeman.
Did you guys see that show with Craig Ferguson hosting? God, what was it called? It wasn't The Traitor. It was something. It was definitely like a werewolf game. It was on
No.
late night. God, what was the name of it?
I don't know.
Let's look it up now. It was pretty entertaining. One person was like the werewolf, and they had
Yeah.
to try to stay alive to the end and they would get all the money,
Huh.
or the other people would win and split it.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
What was the name of that show?
I remember what
recent.
I remember what it is. Yeah.
Um, Kabuki Kid probably knows. It was a little long for what it was, but it was fun. The Hustler. It's still running.
Oh, is
Yeah, apparently it's still on.
it?
2 seasons, 19 episodes. It was like a 10 question multiple choice thing, and like they had to guess what the Hustler's answers were,
Oh, okay.
right? So each question would be like, I remember this one where the guy was busted from the get-go. Like his first reaction, he jumped in his chair and he put his hands down like really fast. And I'm like, that's an odd reaction to being asked a question, like a defensive like jolt. And I'm like, that's probably him. It was. But the first question was like, what's your hobbies? And it was like, collect expensive tennis shoes, right? And he was wearing Air Jordans. You know, he's like he brought his expensive tennis shoes to the show. So they got him like so quickly.
Mhm.
Did I already check who else going to Gamma? I think I already answered this, and everybody said
Nobody.
no.
No,
Nobody. Yeah.
Nobody but you, loser.
Loser.
he's probably going to be the only designer there and sell all his games,
Right? Exactly.
right?
I like think positive.
Have you been before?
I've been to Gamma several times.
Does pitching
Okay.
work there? I guess it does.
Pitching is great there
Is
Okay.
it?
because the publishers are not that I've ever actually sold a game there, but
It's
the
easy.
publishers are, they're not in a sales crunch,
Right.
Right.
right? Because it's a B2B setting, and they're there for meetings, and meetings with designers is one of those types of meetings. And mostly you just sit around in the bar and hang out and make connections and chat about stuff. And
Okay.
Yeah. so I think it's great for designers because there's not so many people there just like clamoring to buy the new thing. Where
Yeah, I guess that's the only kind of show where it's not publishers on fire.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They actually have the time to like sit down and chat and enjoy themselves a little bit and be in a better mood, more receptive to things. I think it's great personally as a designer, but like I said, I got to work on my pitching.
It's just,
Okay, I need to convince more than
How do you work
than
on it?
Shane.
What do you do?
You just do it a bunch. I think I'm
To
better
a
at
camera
it.
or anything, or
What's that?
to a camera, or do you just do it?
I don't really. I mean, really, the way to get better is to spend time practicing doing it, which I don't do, which is probably why I'm not getting better. Just like anything, if you practice a bunch. Mostly, I just fail a bunch, and then over time, slowly get a little bit better at it. Stumble over my words. Did I tell you guys about the pitch meeting I had with AEG?
I don't think so.
No. I thought I told you this one. Anyway, I had a pitch meeting.
I might not have been here.
Oh, okay. I had a pitch with AEG, and it was last year, I think. Anyway, I made it through the first round of cuts where you send in your sell sheet, and then the next round is they spend like 5 minutes with you or 10 minutes with you, and you tell them about your game, and they ask questions or whatever. And they were like, they seemed excited and interested at the beginning, and I was just like, I couldn't do it. I was like, it's a game, you do things. Yeah,
Right.
it's got mechanics. You use those mechanics to like gain points.
It's like you're being interviewed, right?
Yeah, essentially. And you're
Right.
trying to sell your game, and I'm just not a good salesman. And but halfway through, they're like, so like, what's unique about it? They're like trying to help me out. And I'm like, well, it's a game, and there's cards, and like just nothing useful for them. And by the end of it, they were like, well, okay, thanks for your time. And I was like, well, okay, I needed to work on that a little bit more. Yeah, that was my worst bomb ever.
Well, it sucks.
We're like, I know John.
Was the game a match?
I think it would have been, yeah. I know John. I think
they
he
haven't
wants me to
shipped
do
their-
well. What's
the
that?
Meeples and Monsters game, have they?
I don't
I'm just
know.
trying to think of their last game that like Kickstarter. I know they got another game up today.
Well, Cubidus is already out. That was out last year. What's the new one? There's I
just
saw
got
I saw some advertising.
the John D. Clare game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like
That's right. I've seen that ad a couple of times now.
Something in Towers. I don't know.
Not tiny towns. It's
But didn't they do the Meeples and Monsters game last year? And still, I don't know if that's shipped yet.
sounds
It's taking so long to get games, man.
yeah,
Stupid games.
Stupid
Right?
games.
stupid shipping.
Stupid shipping.
New AEG game. I keep seeing this advertisement. I can't believe I can't remember the name of the game.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank myself. I mean, it's a John DeClaire game.
Yeah,
I'm sure it'll do well. Not Edge of Darkness.
No, that's a dark.
Meeples and Monsters.
That was the one I was trying, like, wondering if that was delivered yet.
Rolling Heights. That's the new one.
Rolling Heights.
Rolling
Back
Heights.
right, I think.
It looks cool.
Plus John DeClaire.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. I mean, I was pitching them like a cool tableau building card game with like column matching and bidding. Like I think it would have been a great fit for their stuff. But
Cool. Man, I'm yawning.
Yeah, I suppose it's only 12:40, but maybe we should wrap it up.
I thought you can't stay up late anymore.
Yeah,
I can't.
Oh.
I'm definitely feeling the burn on staying up late.
yeah,
It's
you
catching
guys
up to me. I
cutting
gotta
back
alter my late nights.
now that you're in your 50s.
Yeah.
Yo,
Probably.
man.
That's what it is.
When I saw that Louis Anderson had passed away, I ended up doing a deep dive into some YouTube clips of him, and he was talking about turning 50. And he
Did you
was
ever watch
talking-
his show?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
The
the
animated show?
animated one. Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
good show.
What about the one where
Oh.
he played his mom?
Oh, Baskets.
I seen a few of them. Yeah.
Is that good?
Baskets is
It was
yeah, it was
okay,
really
yeah.
really good. No, he had this bit where he said he was talking about when your eyes, he said like you start having to wear either reading glasses or you're wearing bifocals, and he was talking about not being able to see, and he's like, so when you start using your phone, he said, notice, this is only people that are over 50, they get a text message and they start because apparently looking down your nose, we all make the same look on our eyes. And he's like, we all do the same thing as we're looking at trying to read our phone. And then he said, he goes, and also when somebody texts me and I'm texting them back my response, and then they text me again while I'm texting them back, where it's like they text me a question like, are we having dinner at 6 or 8? And I'm texting them back, and then all of a sudden I get a, are you okay? The text comes in. It's like,
He was damn funny.
oh, and he was clean.
And he initially made fun of his weight, right? But then he stopped doing that.
Well, he'd crack a couple here one-liners, but he would talk a lot about like his weight, and then like he stopped because he said people said that like when you make fun of yourself, it means that like if I'm overweight,
Like,
people can make
yeah,
fun
if you
of me.
lose weight, then you can never get away from that or something. He said.
Yeah, and then he said sometimes I forget. He's like, sometimes I forget that like I'm not wearing my glasses, and I try to like, he said I try to read the thermostat on the wall. I'm like, oh, like I got my mouth open. He said, to let all the light in, because then I'll be able to see. I was just sitting at this desk, and I'm just laughing, like laughing. I'm laughing so hard. My wife came out of her house, like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, just go away. It's like you won't find it nearly as funny as I do. But I'm just losing my mind. And he had his bit about his mom going to a garage sale or a yard sale, and she'd feel bad that she hadn't bought anything, and she'd say, "Louis, go grab that toaster." And she's like, "Mom, it doesn't work." He's like, "Well, it's only a quarter." I was like, "Mom, it doesn't work. It's only a quarter. The cord's worth a quarter." Like he said, one day I want to go to 7-Eleven, buy a soda for $1 and throw 4 cords on the counter. You ask my mom. He was
He had a big family too, right?
Yeah, he had 10.
He was
brothers and
abused.
sisters.
Yeah, I think he was
Yeah,
abused.
he was.
Yeah, and
Father was like really abusive.
the father was a drunk, and
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he yeah, and I thought it was great in the Coming to America too. He was still working at McDowell's. Like he was
Mhm.
still.
Oh, did they do that?
Yeah.
What about the new one?
Yeah,
There's
the
a
new one, the Coming to America
Oh,
too.
I
Yeah,
haven't-
he
I
was
haven't
in
seen
it.
the new one.
Yeah,
Is that two? I thought they had made a sequel to that.
No,
movie.
there was just
No,
number
it's just
two,
one
and,
and two.
and they went to McDowell's.
Welcome to McDowell's.
and he was still working at McDowell's. You know,
That's great.
and
I love
I
that
watched
movie.
the clip.
Continuity.
And
Mhm.
I this other clip that he had where he said, the reason he got that role in Coming to America was, he was born in Minnesota and he grew up in Minnesota, grew up in Minneapolis, and he was at a restaurant where he saw Eddie Murphy come in with like his group, and they were eating, and he didn't go over and say anything hi or anything like that, or like I think, or he said hey, and like, and he said Eddie Murphy was always really nice to me whenever we'd be at a comedy club together. He'd always come up and he'd praise what he said, and he was always really nice. And so I called the waitress over, and he said, you know, when you run his tab, he's like, I want to pick it up, but don't tell him I'm leaving because I got done eating earlier. He said, I'm going to leave. He said, but just, you know, it's like, I'll pay for it. You know, just keep my credit card and whatever. You know, he figured out some way.
$5,000 tab or something.
Well, no. And like, you know, Eddie Murphy in his group didn't know it. And he called him. He said, like, you know, this is before cell phones or whatever. And like, after he realized it. And then like the next day, his agent said, yeah, Eddie Murphy would like to call you. Is that okay? And he said, yeah, sure. Give him my phone number. And he called him up and he said, that was really nice to you. And he's like, you didn't have to do that. And he's like, no, you're always really nice to me. And I just figured it. And he's like, yeah, hey, just so you know, I'm putting a role into my next movie, and I want you to play. And he was just like, you know, it's like, I got this role that I want you to be in my next movie that's coming out. And he said, that's how I got that part. You know, and he was just like, he's like, he said, I bought like a $700 dinner and I got a role in a movie. You know, and he's like, I didn't do it for, you know, he's just, I thought that was cool. You know, it was just like a cool story. And he had another one where he talked about how he had a gambling addiction. He said just a horrible gambling addiction. And he was at some weird,
Louis Anderson?
Yeah, Louis Anderson.
Okay.
And he was at some weird, like little illegal like gambling club, and he was gambling with these guys, and he was talking about there was some weird dice game thing. It's like, and he said he lost $80,000 to a guy, and he was just like, oh man, you know, and he said he was sitting there and he was just like, he said he had a $10,000 line of credit at a casino in Las Vegas. And so he told the guy, yeah, I'll get you your money. And he said, I was so bad with my gambling addiction. He was already thinking, I'm going to get a flight. I'm going to leave as soon as I leave this gambling club. I'm going to get a flight. I'm going to fly to Las Vegas. I'm going to go to that hotel. I'm going to take out that line of credit, and I'm going to win that $80,000. And then I'm going to be able to pay this guy off. That was how he said, but then I was like, oh my God, I don't, he said, I couldn't, all the flights were like done. It was so late. And so he rented a car because he didn't own a car. He rented a car, drove 5 hours to Las Vegas.
From Los Angeles?
From Los Angeles, got there, he's like, this is how bad the gambling addiction was. He said, I didn't take out the full 10,000 because he said, he's like, I'm not gonna be crazy. And he said he just took $2,000 and he went and he sat down and he started playing blackjack. And he said, and he started winning. And so like, and it was like, and he got to 10,000 and he got to 20,000. And he's like, I got up to 40,000. And then I lost back down to 20,000. And then I kept going, and he kept on ping ponging back and forth, you know, I get to 60,000 back up. He's like, I'm playing $500 a hand, $1,000 a hand. You know, I'm just going back and forth. And I'm sitting there playing. It's just me and the dealer. Nobody else is at the table. And he said, I got to 80,000 in like you're free and clear right now. I got the money. And then he was just like, and he
I
said,
mean, 80,000 on $2,000.
yeah, he said,
That's
I
some
got
good luck there.
Well,
Yeah.
no, and he said, and it got to 80,000, and he said, but then I was like, wouldn't it be awesome if I had a little extra? And so he said he kept playing, and then he went back down to 60,000. He
Yeah.
went to 70,000, and he said then I got up to 90, and I was like, this would be a good time to stop. But he said, but why would I stop them at 90? He said $100,000 sounds so much better than $90,000. So he kept playing, and he's like, and then he went back down to 50,000, and then he's playing back and forth, and then but he finally did it. He said he got to 100,000, and then he got and then the last hand he got aces dealt to him, and so he split them. And then he's like, oh man, if I hit 2 blackjacks on this, I'll be at 120 grand. But he didn't, but the dealer busted. And so then because he was betting $5,000 a hand at that point. And so he got $110,000. And then he told the dealer, he said, the next hand's 10. He's like, I'll either give you $10,000. He told the dealer, because there'd been one dealer the entire time.
Yeah.
I'll either give you 10,000, or you can bet it on the next hand, and then you get whatever. You either lose it or you get it. And he said he didn't realize at the time that if you say that to a dealer, like you can either bet it or you can have the 10,000, like they have to bet it. They like there's some like rule. If you work there, you have to bet it. If the person offers you have to make the wager. He said, and thankfully, he said, I didn't realize that. He's like, the guy was sweating and he pulled it, and then the guy won the hand, and he was like, oh, thank God. And he's like, why? And he's like, because if I lost, I wouldn't have gotten anything. He's like, I had no idea. I'm so sorry. He's like, no, don't worry about it. So he gave the guy 20 grand. And then he said, well, I want to get cashed out. And then all of a sudden he said, and they're like, yeah. And it's like, but he said they didn't want to cash him out. They were like taking forever to cash him out because they wanted him to keep gambling, and lose the money, and so it's like, and so he's sitting there, no. And then all of a sudden he looked down and he realized, oh my God, he was like, he said, I have to film a commercial for 7-Eleven in like 3 hours, and he's like, and then I realized they're paying me $250,000 to be in this commercial. He's like, why am I in Las Vegas? He like totally forgot that he had a commercial.
That's crazy.
Where
do you tell that story? Is that something I can watch?
Yeah, it's like, you can find it on YouTube. And he just
Cool.
like, and he like, he goes like, and he was just like, and they're like, do you want to take a check or do you want the cash? He's like, yeah, I want the cash. I want a cash in a bag so I can show people I got $100,000 in a bag.
I didn't know
Yeah.
you were gambling. Addictive
Yeah.
gambling.
Yeah. So I mean, but anyway, so yeah, find that clip, do a deep dive in and into the old Louis Anderson. It sounds like nobody had anything mean to say about him at all. Everybody said he was just
a delight.
Just a delightful human being. So there you go. And he's Minnesota nice, baby. Minnesota nice.
So we know what that means. Yeah. We know what kind
There
of
you
person
go.
he is then.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Right.